I'm waiting for it to update on the other side. Awesome, guys. We're just out here in Portland, Oregon. Oh, how come it's not updating on this? Maybe let's refresh. So awesome, guys. VSL here, anti-animal use. Awesome, Sabby, Berlin, Anik. Awesome to see you guys here. I'm going to pass around the mic and we're going to say hello. And what we hope to do today, just hoping to touch a few hearts, talk about people living in alignment with their own principles on fairness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll have some open conversations today, meet some honest people. I feel like normally the sunny weather can bring out some better conversations and interactions, so it's always nice to see. I'm Elvin, if you don't know me, and I go by Elvegan on Instagram. We do Total Liberation now with Enigma here, and yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Looking forward to having some good conversations today, asking people about animals and fairness and whether it's fair for humans to exploit our animal relatives when we have other options. So looking forward to it.
I'm Nick, also known as grassfed_human on Instagram and TikTok. I'm just out here to hopefully reach some people and see if they're receptive to the message, and maybe, ideally they would go vegan. So we'll see. But yeah.
Hey, I'm Rebecca, the Uncaged Front on Instagram, and I have a blog at theuncagedfront.org. And I just recently came out with another blog post, and a lot of vegans are aware of, the situation I was talking about, where basically the torture the animals go through their whole lives until they're slaughtered. But it also kind of gives you like a little situation that I went through recently, and how it kind of got me, I don't know, I'm always thinking about it, but my dental anxiety and stuff. But anyways, we got to get going here. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Awesome. Guys, do we look crooked? I feel like we look kind of crooked. Oh, yeah, they're right here. So we're going to wobble. Hold on. Yeah, I'll lift that up a bit. We need the live sign. Oh, yeah, that's a good call.
There we go.
Easy done. Okay, we might need to straighten ourselves out now.
Hello to the vegans who are already here in the live. It's so great to see you. I see you, Lambretta Barnes. I see you, Sabby Coops. I see all of you. Please like and share this live as we're getting started to boost it in the algorithm so we can reach more folks.
Yes, please do. And if you're a vegan, go ahead and type 1. If you're not a vegan, type 2. And if you're just curious, type 3. Let's see what kind of a spread we got going in here, guys. Are we straight enough yet? Do we look straight up and down?
It might be a little crooked.
Oh. That? Nope, that still looks crooked to me.
Yeah. Trying to adjust the screen here.
Does that look straighter?
Yeah, I think so. Looks a little straight.
How about like that?
No, put it back just a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Oh,
I
nice.
think.
Got a nice spread in here.
Yeah, we
See, I
got
saw
all kinds of folks in here. Savvy.
Hello.
Oh, I see a lot of vegans.
Yeah, it's a vegan party.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get started, get a conversation. It can take a second for conversations to get started. So until then, we'll keep talking to you in the chat. And I appreciate you guys being here. Your curiosity is honestly what fuels movements. It's how we get change. We need people to be curious about what's going on. And, we're just here to ask about norms. Do norms justify violating someone? Do norms justify exploitation?
Spoiler alert.
So,
They don't.
oh, damn. Big surprise. Would you try dog soup? Exactly, Stank Nasty. I would not, because that dog cared about what was happening to them. And just like I would not want to be turned into soup, I'm sure they don't want to be turned into soup. It's so sunny today, guys. I'm impressed with the weather. I thought it was going to be cold. I've got like extra thick socks on. Hey, do you want to have a conversation? All right. Well, enjoy the sun. It's beautiful out. Peanut has no mama. Tempeh doesn't have feelings. That's true, it doesn't. I'm going to stretch out this leg. It seems like the camera keeps lurching forward. I think we're straight up and down, right? Guys, let me know if we're crooked. I don't want to be crooked. Hey, another damn vegan. Oh, but vegan beef is even better because there's no victims. Do you want to talk to camera?
I was just you're good for
Awesome, yeah. Got grass-fed over here. He's peeking on you.
just reading the chat.
Yes. Oh, boo, we're having a perfectly nice vegan party. Oh, damn. I love that. The Septum Just Say It All says, listen. Hey, does anybody want to have a conversation? We're live on YouTube. All right. Have a good day. I don't know if you guys saw, we got these sweet pink or a sweet pink mic. So flashy. Yeah, vegan chicken is delicious. Hey, Jake, what's up? I saw you were live earlier. I hope we were not intruding on that. It's good to see you. I heard about your awesomeness that you're going to go do. I hope you consider all the consequences. There's some nasty ones out there that I learned about. I took a class on liberation recently. But it's awesome you're going out there to help more. I'm so proud of you. Oh, it's Mel and Steve. What's up? Good to see you. Hey guys, so if there's any non-vegans in the chat, please let us know. Why aren't you vegan? If you're vegan, type 1. If you're not vegan, type 2. And if you're just kind of curious, type 3. Only thing nasty is your mindset. Okay. I don't know. I think I missed that out of context or something. Okay, what's up? Luigi, I see you. Awesome. Okay. I'm a little more of a spread. Good to see you guys. Welcome in. So if you're new in here, we're in Portland, Oregon. We're in front of the Pioneer Place Mall. And we're just out here asking Portlanders about fairness, about animal rights, and if they live in alignment with their own principles on those topics. I'm going to ask people if they want to have a conversation, but until then, I would love to know why you're not vegan. Thanks. Well, Mel and Steve, it takes one to know one, or others. I don't know, because we're not ones, we're groups, but Hello again, Ben. Pia. Lambretta. I know, right? It is gorgeous. I love it. You wait till Total Liberation Now starts to go live. By the way, go follow them right now. We need to get them up to 50 because we want them to go live for Project Livestream. Speaking of It's Mel and Steve, go check out It's Project Livestream, or you can go to It's Mel and Steve. They're going to be doing Project Livestream April 10th, and Anti-Animal Use wants to be a part of that. So definitely go over there. Go tell them you like them. Go tell them we sent you to them, although they're right here in the chat and they can hear it. Awesome. But yeah, please go help Total Liberation Now get up to 50 followers so that we can go live together, because we want to try to get all angles as much as possible. Possibly even maybe more than one location. We haven't even talked about it yet, but there's a lot of possibilities if we can get more of our team to be able to live stream. So any non-vegans in the chat, please. I'm a carnivore and you are offending me. What have I said that's so offensive? I'd love to know. And any other non-vegans, please let us know why you're not vegan, and we'll try to answer your questions. Tell us why you're not vegan.
We're not necessarily here to argue, but just to open up a discussion about animal ethics, a realm of ethics that's often unexplored in our society. We're here to ask, is it fair for humans to exploit other animals when we have another choice? If you have a response, leave it in the chat so that we can chat with you. Somebody says, why can animals eat each other but we can't? So while an animal like a bear doesn't have access to a grocery store or a farmer's market, you do. So that's the distinction. We have a choice, but they don't.
I saw, how are you farming with vegetables? But I don't know what they meant by that. As vegan, do you acknowledge that you kill more animals than hunters do annually? Well, first, I'd like to ask for evidence on those numbers. But second of all, even if it did, how can that atrocity justify causing someone else to be enslaved for your behalf when you can avoid demanding that?
For anybody who's joined more recently, we're here in Portland, Oregon at Pioneer Place. And we're asking folks about animal liberation. Most folks walking by believe that humans should be liberated from systems of oppression. But should we extend that to other animals? Should other animals be liberated from being used as objects or exploited by humans? Tell us your thoughts in the chat.
I see bee to make avocados. I don't think you know how avocados grow. They don't smash bees in them. Obviously, there are bees pollinating, but these are bees that have been bred in the honey industry.
Right, and I was going to add, like personally, me as a vegan, I don't consume avocados or even almonds. And I make sure to avoid those. So, you can just not eat those.
Yep.
So, and be vegan.
Exactly. You can be vegan and avoid almonds, avocados, any of these foods that you're concerned about. You can still have a healthy, whole food, plant-based diet. You can even eat the junky food sometimes. Some of them, don't use these foods that everyone's worried about with the water use. But if you're worried about water use and environmental things, there is a perk to being vegan, living for the animals. The perk is that we actually would have a greener planet. We could actually possibly feed more people and rewild land at the same time. But the main focus is the victims, When slavery was happening, the moral issue was somebody was being violated and losing everything for something that was not necessary, right?
Hello, Pia. I see you. Thank you to all the vegans and the mods. Everyone, please double tap the screen and keep sharing the live so that we can expand this conversation and reach more people.
There was a comment I saw. Someone said, if vegan diets are so healthy, why do you consume supplements? And first off, a diet consisting of, maybe where you have to supplement isn't inherently unhealthy. In fact, it can be a part of a healthy diet. I'm not sure the exact study, but if you're interested, we can post it in there. I can find it. But that doesn't necessarily make it unhealthy. But speaking to that, the animals you consume, or that the majority of people consume, are supplemented as well. So you're essentially just getting a supplement through them as opposed to just taking the supplement yourself. So is your diet really as natural as you think if you're consuming, animal products? So don't be afraid of a supplement. It's,
Exactly. If you go to the doctor and you're deficient in something, what do? Do they feed you a bunch of food or do they give you a supplement?
Right. And I was also going to say, if you really are against taking a pill, there's plant fortified foods, for example, that if you're lacking in certain something, you can always just consume that and you don't have to take a pill. So
yeah, it's important, to take care of your health, but if that's not your priority, you can still live vegan. But the benefit, there is a perk to living vegan. If you do it right, you can actually have a very healthy life. And it's not hard at all. People make it sound like it's such a challenge, but it really is not. It's one of the easiest things you can do. And it's something you directly can help prevent happen to somebody.
I'm seeing somebody make the argument that eating meat or animal flesh is natural. So there are many things which are natural. For instance, some big cats will eat their children. They'll commit infanticide. Do you think it's ethical for humans to kill their children? Or do you not? Yes. Ben says, what is soy mostly used for? That's a good question. Most of soy is fed to other animals. So if you're concerned about the environmental impact of soy farming, you can reduce your contribution to it, although it might sound paradoxical, by eating the soy directly and not contributing to more soy being used by being filtered and reduced through the animal carcass.
Exactly. So again, crop deaths. If you're concerned about any environmental issues or the animals that are passing away in these big monocrops, we feed most of these crops to the animals you use. So if you went vegan, there's a perk that we would greatly reduce how many crops we grow because humans eat fewer crops than an animal that we use consumes. So that's the benefit. But even if it was the other way around, that doesn't justify slavery. That doesn't justify using someone without their consent. We do have alternatives, and we don't need to enslave someone for trivial pleasures.
Right. I also saw a comment talking about that fake plant meats or vegan meats. They're expensive, but you don't have to. To consume, or just to be vegan, you don't have to consume, the fake mock meats. You can eat things like beans, rice, pasta, legumes, bread, fruits, vegetables, obviously. So and there was obviously the study done by Oxford University, I think, right? Oxford, or was it Oxford University, that showed that vegan diets are 30% cheaper. So just keep that in mind. I know when people think of veganism, people think of like the fancy vegan foods, but like in reality, you don't have to consume those. You can just eat whole plant foods, and it can actually, save some money for your grocery bill. So.
This is actually a list right here on the card of all the whole foods that you could eat and get everything you need. Yeah, there's a supplement in there, but again, we talked about you can get fortified foods that cover those needs. Do it if I cover my face? Can't really focus, I guess, but it's 3 servings of beans, 3 servings of fruits, 1 cruciferous, 1 serving of flaxseed, 3 servings of whole grains, 1 serving of berries, 2 servings of greens, 2 servings of other vegetables like root vegetables, 1 serving of nuts and seeds, a lot of water, 5 servings at least of water, and a supplement of B12, 90 minutes of exercise. Call your mom. I don't know actually the process that street drugs are made in, so I couldn't comment on that. Bacon goes with everything. Did you know that humans actually are called long pig? That means that our flesh is similar to another animal's flesh. So we're waiting actually to have a conversation. We're trying to reach out to Portlanders as we're in Portland, Oregon in front of the Pioneer Place Mall. I want to ask a few people about fairness and animal rights, and until then we're going to be asking you guys why you're not vegan. If you're vegan type 1, if you're not vegan type 2. Just to see the spread we've got right now. Hey Jake, I saw you again. Oh, nice. Elvin's talking to somebody. Yeah, but you could have a vegan steak instead. Hey, you guys want to share your thoughts on YouTube? Oh, okay. I'll try to get them too. Okay, nice spread. So those that are putting a 2 right now, I see a couple 3s. Can you tell us why you're not vegan? And we'll try to address those common confused obstacles or misunderstandings possibly. Those questions. What's holding you back from being vegan? Or do you have questions about veganism? Yes, but just because someone's flesh tastes good, does that justify violating them? Is missing words? So does the pleasure that you get from doing something justify violating someone, enslaving someone, exploiting them? Is mayonnaise an instrument? I don't know, but I only use vegan mayo.
Somebody says, is human meat vegan? Absolutely not. We don't believe in exploiting humans, other animals, or anybody who is sentient. So we wouldn't want to exploit and use a human for their flesh for the same reason that we wouldn't exploit and use a fish or a pig for their flesh.
Yeah, I actually do watch the products that I grab. So I saw someone bring up that there are a lot of products in which they test on animals, like your shampoo, your deodorants, etc. That is a great point. There are little icons, like the little happy bunny on there, the leaping bunny. You can Google there's actually apps you can download where you scan the barcode and it tells you whether or not it was tested on animals. So I actually do that to make sure that I don't demand anyone have things jammed in their eyes, down their throat till they puke and die. I don't know if you guys heard, there was recently liberation of some beagles at, oh my gosh, I'm missing the name right now. Look up, oh my gosh.
Wayne Houston. That's last name.
Yeah, so go check out, go look up the beagles. Okay, I'm blanking right now on the name of the facility, but it was direction everywhere.
Direct action everywhere.
What is wrong with me?
It's a tongue twister.
It's because I'm thinking DXE and I focus on the initials instead of actually silly. Anyway, so it was DXE. They went in there, they saved some beagles. Some beagles were taken back, so definitely go check that out.
And welcome to everybody who's here. There's so many people who've joined recently. If you're curious, we're in Portland, Oregon at Pioneer Place, and we're having conversations about animal ethics. If you're a non-vegan who's joined, please put your best argument against veganism.
Thank you.
Yeah, Richland Farm. And
thank you, Fly Sensi.
Somebody says, why is it okay to exploit plants? So plants aren't sentient. They don't have a brain or a central nervous system. So they don't care about what happens to them in the same way that a fish or a pig does. So I think most of us would know there's a distinction between chopping up a live pig and chopping up some broccoli. We have to be honest with ourselves in that respect.
I see some joking, but we all know that plants, they literally do not have a brain or central nervous system. They cannot care if you eat them. Yeah, exactly. They do have feelings. Is there anybody here? Hi. Do you want to share your opinion on YouTube? Good day. She almost tripped.
She's mad.
She's mad?
I don't know.
Oh, I think she's trying to read your sign and it's
Okay.
bright.
Okay.
I think the sun is in her eyes.
Selecting.
Yeah, it was.
You misinterpreted.
Oh, absolutely. Animals are NPCs. What makes you say that? Plants do not care. They don't have the organs to express making preferences. They just react. They react to stimuli.
To the vegans who are in the chat, vegans put a 1. If you're not vegan and open, put a 2. And if you're a troll, put a 3. We want to get a sense of who's here in the room with us.
Oh, I couldn't do that. What are your thoughts on overpopulation for animals like deer? Well, what do you think about the overpopulation of humans, right? We should treat that with the respect that each human deserves, as we should with any other animal, because we all care about what's going to happen to us.
It's also important to question why are deer overpopulating in certain places. It's because of human actions. We've cleared out all of the predators that would, it could be a little bit unfortunate, the violence, but that we're keeping these populations in check because we were trying to clear out space to raise animals like cows and pigs and birds. So it's a human-generated problem. So why would we blame them and use lethal force? Why not find an alternative that does prevent them from, running into the streets and damaging our cars and causing all of this mayhem? Like, we can find alternatives that don't involve exploiting or killing them.
Okay, it looks like they're still having a conversation over there. The alternative is to go vegan. What about cannibalism? It's about consent. It's about someone understanding what they're consenting to, right? Being an informed consenter. If you don't have that, then you don't have rights to use someone's body. Morally speaking, if someone was just dead on the side of the road, I guess, yeah, you could eat them, but, you're taking away that was a someone, and that's why it's harder for people to eat consume their companions, because they recognize the someone that was living in that body. Yeah, I guess if you want to do that, that's fine. If you want to do schmanibalism, I don't know if that's okay on YouTube.
Well, I mean, if you want to, we can have a discussion or we can argue.
Portland, Oregon, known for its loud cars too. Morally speaking, yeah, I guess you could do that, but I wouldn't say it's safe. You consuming animals on the side of the road. Again, veganism is an ethical stance against the exploitation of sentient beings. If you're running down animals so that you are eating roadkill, that's still exploitation, just to be clear. But if you're just happening upon, you've been driving out in the middle of the country and there's a deer that was already hit like hours ago, yeah, I guess you could consume them, but there's a lot of issues with that. A lot of people say don't consume animals that you didn't take down because you don't know what took them down. And the whole issue is that you're seeing a someone as a something. I am contributing to society. I'm talking to you right now. I'm trying to make you recognize you're not living in alignment with your own principles. I'm sure you agree if someone was kicking a dog over here, right, that we should intervene. And at minimum, not join in, right? It's no different when it comes to the cows, the pigs, the chickens, the fish, the birds of any kind. They all still care. They all don't want to suffer just as much as the dog being kicked. So stop escalating the violence. You can opt out by living vegan. We're anti-animal use, and we're here in Portland, Oregon. Do I need to step in? Okay. Same. Someone, oh geez, how long till a cow can vote? Well, so it's not actually about, hey, can you please be respectful?
Yes or no is not a definitive answer. All
What
right?
do you need? What's
I
wrong?
need nothing.
Okay, well, why are you here?
Because you fucking asked me to come over here.
Okay, so
and
now
you
what?
asked me
So
a
now where are we
question.
going? Now where are we going? Okay, so we're done?
I don't know. Are you done?
I am.
You're
Are
still
you?
talking to me.
Well, you're here, and I
Well,
want
I'm
to
standing right
address
here.
this. I want to address
I
this.
can just stand here because it's public.
Okay, that's all you want to do? That's okay. I don't care if you stand there. Okay. I don't mind. We can share this corner.
Hi.
They can't hear
Hi,
you.
everybody.
Yeah, we have
Hi.
he wants to be
My
a.
name is Ronald Smith.
They're on this one here.
Oh, okay.
Come on, stand over
Okay.
there. There you go. Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, here
My
we go.
name is Ronald Smith.
So anyway, guys,
And they asked me a
so if
question.
you're vegan, type 1, and if you're not vegan, type 2. All right.
So you're gonna block me?
Yeah, this is our live.
Okay. I don't care.
I don't know
I
why
don't
you're.
care,
Why are you
bro.
mad? Why are you mad?
No, I'm not mad. You
Then
guys
tell
want to
me.
engage in
Well, how can I help you?
You want to engage a conversation, but you want definitive answers.
Okay.
All right? Conversation is not definitive answers.
Okay.
What it is I express myself, you express yourself, and then we continue from there.
You didn't
Stop. Rebecca, stop. No, please.
Definitive answers.
Express yourself. Let's get it
Yes.
over. Okay.
Okay.
What else?
What did she ask me?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Okay. The point of
Stop,
the
stop.
matter is like, you want to have a discussion.
I don't anymore.
Okay. I'm good with. All right.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
I don't know what's wrong. I tried to address it. Anyway, guys, so I would love to address anybody's questions about veganism or why they're not vegan. If you're vegan, type 1. If you're not vegan, type 2. And if you're curious, type 3. Do you guys want to be on an interview? Yeah?
What? You guys want to do a YouTube interview? Okay. What are you guys talking about?
Talking about oppression.
Depression?
Yeah. Do you think the powerful should have the right to oppress the powerless?
Oh, probably not.
Yeah, I agree. Do you want to talk about it?
Dude, I don't know. It seems scary. I mean, no pressure. It's up to
I was going to say, if you feel uncomfortable, you can leave. There are some extra characters standing around right now.
I'm gonna go to
Awesome.
Sephora real quick.
Yeah, would love to talk to you. All right, so those that put a 2, please let me know why you're not vegan. So we can address those thoughts, just to see if maybe you haven't really thought about it, or maybe haven't looked into these certain areas that you think are the reasons that hold you back. I'm vegan because I couldn't demand someone else be exploited for me when I could avoid doing that, because that's what I would want if I was the victim.
You can put my face on YouTube all day. I don't give a shit. I don't care.
He's arguing with a random stranger. Because animals are willing to consume you, but that doesn't justify you enslaving them, right? They actually often are out in the wild, or we wouldn't be breeding them into existence, really. That's honestly what it comes down to. I don't know if you understand, the wild biomass only makes up 4% of the total wild mammal biomass. 4%. We've bred into existence 60% of the mammal biomass. It's all the cows and the pigs. So, we're wiping out the wild by breeding in these Frankenstein animals that are really suffering in these bodies. It's just not fair. Like, would you tolerate that?
We do. We got zombies walking the streets.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Portland is definitely a vegan hub. Yeah, but goats wanted to live. That's the issue that we're talking about. I understand someone said an animal is meat, but so is human. Human is also meat. I wish someone would take care of me the way I care for my animals. Well, sure, but the thing is, if we're breeding someone into existence just to have someone to take care of, that's exploitation. You're using someone. No one wants to be born into existence to be someone else's property, right? It's understandable, though, if you have the resources to give someone a rich life and you adopt someone into your life to do that, and you end up having a relationship with that companion, that's totally fine. Plants do not feel. They don't have a brain or a central nervous system.
For anybody who's joined more recently and is curious where we're in Portland, Oregon, at Pioneer Place Mall. And we're asking folks about animal ethics. Is it ethical for humans to exploit our animal relatives that we share this planet with when we live in a world with other options, when we don't need to anymore? Let us know your thoughts, and I want to ask, so we can get an idea of who's in the chat, I'm going to have the vegans put a 1. Vegans put a 1 in the chat. Open but non-vegans put a 2. If you're open-minded to the conversation but non-vegan, put a 2. And trolls put a 3. Trolls put a 3. Lots of new people here tuning in. It's a beautiful day in Portland, Oregon.
Oh my gosh, it's so gorgeous. I actually am really confused why this guy is so mad, because I'm like, go enjoy the day. Why stand here?
All right, I'm seeing some trolls, seeing some non-vegans. So to the non-vegans, again, we're asking you to just put your biggest obstacle to going vegan in the chat so that Anna and I can respond to that.
I might give you the mic and talk with him to the side so he stops and calms down.
Let me know.
Yeah, because I just think he needs to be heard, and then once he expresses himself, he'll go away.
Somebody says animals eat animals every day. Right. We understand that when somebody is in a survival situation and they don't have access to a grocery store or farmer's market, they have to do what they have to do to survive. But when we're asking, if we have another option, is it fair from the animal's perspective to use them for their body or their secretions? What do you think?
The bees are often farmed in the honey industry that are used to pollinate everything, and they wipe out natural pollinators. So if you're worried about the bees that are pollinating the crops that vegans often eat, then we should reduce how many plants we grow in general, and that's by going vegan, because the animals we feed and or use and have to feed eat more plants than we do. There's studies on this. We actually greatly reduce our land use and can feed more people if we stop using animal ag. Free the slaves, liberate everyone.
To everybody who's in the live, please continue double tapping the screen and sharing the live so we can reach more people. I saw somebody says plants have feelings. This is a really big claim. It's an empirical claim, and we want to see the evidence. So paste the title of the study in the chat that shows that, and we'll engage with the evidence.
Anybody want to be on camera? Do you want to talk to the camera? Okay. I gotcha. Do you want to talk to the camera? I'll let her debrief.
Hello to everyone here. I'm holding a sign that says, I'm doing a social experiment, come talk to me. We're looking to have conversations with open-minded people here in Portland, Oregon. We're at Pioneer Place Mall, for those curious. Somebody says, do you do MMA? Absolutely not. It's not something I'm interested in. I don't train for that. It's not interesting to me. I'm not here to hate on anybody who finds it interesting, as long as everybody who is consenting in the sport. But there are vegan MMA fighters, there are vegan bodybuilders, there are vegan Olympic athletes. So if athletics and physicality is important to you, going vegan is not a barrier. It's not an obstacle. Somebody says, lots of people here, so I'm trying to see your comments. They go by pretty quickly. Somebody says plants are conscious. This is an argument that I saw a little bit ago, and I asked you to put the title of the study in the chat that demonstrates that that is the case, that demonstrates that plants are conscious in the same way that animals are. So we're waiting for that evidence. Let's see it. Somebody says need a lot more money for tofu. So I encourage you to, next time you actually walk into the grocery store, look at the price of tofu and compare it to the cost of animal flesh. You'll find it's actually more affordable. At my Winco, it's about $2 or $3 per block of tofu, which is a lot more affordable than animal flesh. Somebody says sushi. So what justifies treating fish as objects and using them and exploiting them and killing them when we have another option, when we don't need to pull them out of the water to suffocate them in the first place? What justifies it? Why not live and relate to the animals in the sea and ocean as our relatives who we share this planet with? Why not leave them be and respect them? Somebody says everything in moderation. I agree with that in some respect, but not with violence. We should be non-violent as far as we possibly can. We shouldn't be a little bit violent towards animals if we have another option. To anybody who's joined me recently, we're in Portland, Oregon at the Pioneer Place Mall. And I'm going to ask the vegans to put a 1 in the chat. Vegans put a 1. Non-vegans put a 2. And trolls put a 3. I want to get an idea of who's here in the chat with us. And if you're a non-vegan, put your biggest personal obstacle to going vegan in the chat so that I can address some of them. Everyone who's here, continue double tapping that screen and sharing the live as well. Somebody says there's nothing violent about it. So if somebody were to walk up to a dog and shoot them in the head, you don't think that's a violent action. Do you think it's violent from the dog's perspective? Let me know. Somebody says it's not violent from the dog's perspective. Is there anything that we can do to a dog that is violent or unethical? Or do you just really not care about other animals at all? Somebody says we don't eat dogs. I'm not asking if we eat them. I'm asking, is it fair or is it justified to exploit and treat dogs as objects when we have another choice? I'm not necessarily here to argue or spar with anybody in the chat. I'm just here to open up a discussion. You can.
Awesome. So I'll just have you stand in that box right there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's not too bright, is it? Well, you got sunglasses.
this is good,
Cool,
yeah.
cool. Okay. And the sun is going to be shifting, so just let me know if it is too bright. Awesome. So, can you kind of turn this a little so you got time? There. Yeah, it looks real good. My name's Anna. What's your name?
I'm Patrick. Nice to meet
Patrick.
you.
Lovely to meet you here. I'll give you a card. I don't know if your friends want to look up the live. They can scan that. Takes you to your to the website. If you click at the top, it'll show the live.
Okay, cool.
So if you want to
Sick.
watch it.
Yeah, sick.
If that's too much, you can just look up anti-animal use on YouTube.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome.
So anyway, I'm sorry. Say your name again.
Patrick.
Patrick. So we're just talking today to people about oppression.
Mm-hmm.
One of the signs I'll just tell you, do you think that the powerful should have the right to oppress the powerless? And oppression meaning prolonged cruel treatment. So do you think it's fair for the powerful to mistreat the powerless?
No, I don't think anyone should have the right to put down someone else and inhibit their ability to pursue what they want in life.
I totally agree. That's really just to establish a common ground.
Absolutely.
I share that principle wholeheartedly. So it feels like a trick, but what do you think about the animals that we use for food, clothing, entertainment, like in the zoo or circus? Would you agree that we as humans are oppressing the powerless in that situation? I know this feels kind of on the spot.
I mean,
no
yes.
judgment. Like
Yeah.
I did this for a long time.
I mean, in a sense, right? Like, so if you are killing an animal to eat it,
Mm-hmm.
you are taking away their ability to live. Yes,
Exactly.
absolutely. But what was the original statement? Was it some person or
Powerful versus the powerless.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it feels like a trick because you're looking for like
it's
person
not. It's
or
not.
something.
It's not. It's a good setup. It's a good setup for the question because
Right.
it
Well,
provokes thought.
Let's say it said person.
Mhm.
Let's say it like specifically said human. You know, what is it that would make it different in your mind to farm a human versus farming an animal? And take your moment with this because I had to sit and think like what is a morally relevant difference between us and animals?
Yeah, it's a good question,
Yeah.
but I think it comes down to if you believe in consciousness and what level of consciousness you believe in. Obviously, animals have some level of mental capacity and whatnot, and that but a bug, for example, does not have the same level of consciousness and present and understanding of presence of being that a human does. So a lot of times that's how it's justified throughout society, I think. So and that's a question for whoever wants to think this through too. It's like what do you value? And I mean, when we as humans grew up, we needed to eat animals to survive. Now obviously it's different.
Right.
Maybe you don't have to, but it's a good source of protein and nutrients that we get. And while I don't agree with unethical farming and super compressed
Can I ask why?
breeding farming. It's just if you're gonna
I know it sounds like a weird question.
Yeah, no,
but...
of course. If you're gonna kill an animal and use it for food, I think that also squishing them in a tiny box in horrible living conditions while they are alive, it's not great. But obviously this is all idealistic.
Well, so what you're pointing to is their experience does matter, right? Because they are having an experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you think there's anything that we absolutely do need from animals that might justify farming them, even in a nice way?
No, but we also are the apex predator in a food chain, and so it's the way that the ecosystem is set up. And yeah, maybe as we advance, we won't have to is a loose term, but we won't feel the need to as well.
Do you think that we need to right now?
I mean, no, but I think we also have the right to, as humans, we have the right to make
right?
that
That's what
choice.
I'm trying to get to. What
Yeah.
is that right that we
Well,
have
originally
over them?
when you said the power versus power, I thought I was thinking in human terms, but
Yeah.
in the sense of an animal, like
Well, why is
we-
it unfair in the human terms? Like, why is it wrong for a powerful human to take advantage of a vulnerable human? In your opinion?
again, I think it comes down to a level of consciousness, and
What if that human you're taking advantage of,
if it had the same level of consciousness, then I would agree that
if
that
they had
really
like low consciousness, that it'd be okay?
It's not low. It's just they have a lower sense of experiencing the presence. Like their
I just want to make
brains.
sure I understand. Are you saying if a human had low intelligence?
No, it's not intelligence.
Oh, okay,
It's not
okay.
intelligence.
Consciousness, if
Yeah.
you had less self-awareness.
No, because
then
they're the
it's
same.
okay.
We're the same. Humans, in theory, have the same heightened level of consciousness. But obviously, if someone is like in a coma
Yeah, well,
or
not even
something
in a
that's
coma.
different.
Like cows and pigs, they're not in a coma, right?
Yeah.
They're walking around.
Yeah,
they think,
exactly.
They care. They even have language. So
Yeah.
we have humans that are not even capable of
That's
language,
true.
right?
That's a good point.
And we wouldn't
Again.
want to exploit them, right?
Again, yeah, but
Yeah.
what? Okay, then what would you say to an animal that, like a lion
Yeah.
eating another lion?
I wouldn't
that's
be able to
below?
talk to a lion.
Yeah,
but I
exactly.
can talk
That's
to you.
kind of my, that's kind of
So
that's
a
kind
lion,
of my point.
a lion. There's a couple points on this. First of all, a lion's not a moral agent of human morals, right? You and I, we know what's right and wrong. We know there's consequences to our actions. A lion may not necessarily understand that. Also, lions are surviving a harsh environment. We
Yeah.
have grocery stores. We have options. We can take
Exactly,
time.
yes.
We have the privilege to weigh out what's right and wrong. So since you have that power, doesn't that give you a responsibility to do what's right and not take advantage of the vulnerable?
Yeah, to a certain extent. Yeah.
Do you know the word vegan?
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't fully disagree with you. I'm just
No, honestly,
yeah.
I hear that you actually
Yeah.
share a pen. Sorry, my mouth is dry because
It's
I'm
okay.
talking a lot. Let me define veganism. Veganism is just a principled stance against the exploitation of other beings.
Yeah.
Does that sound like it aligns with your own principles?
I would not be vegan, no, but I understand the opinion and I respect other people's choice of doing it.
Well, see, I don't know if you do understand because you would just be vegan. Because the point is like being anti-slavery doesn't mean I'm going to be okay with supporting slavery, right? I would avoid demanding slavery if I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, but vegan is like you don't use anything at the exploitation.
So the victim is just not human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what's the morally relevant difference between these victims that justifies doing this to one but not the other?
I again believe that it is society's moral argument is.
Society once said not all humans were equal.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, yes, we
I
can't
agree.
always look to society
And
for
if
morals.
we did eventually take a turn towards that, I wouldn't be mad. But it's
Well,
like
it sounds
being
like you
vegan.
actually know what's right and wrong. Do you really need society to change before you do the right thing?
Yes.
So, like, in the time of
keep,
racism, you would have
that's
been
different.
okay,
Yeah.
or
Again,
slavery.
I believe,
you would have been
I believe,
passive about these topics.
I believe that there's a moral difference between killing another human and an animal. Like,
yeah, I'm not talking about that. I'm saying that.
Or exploiting an animal, and I don't.
I'm saying you don't even need to do it though. What's the need to do it? They care about what's going to happen to them, regardless of how you value them. They care about what's going to happen to them.
Yeah,
And one
absolutely.
person going vegan can actually stop 100 to 300 animals from being bred into that system. That's huge. I mean, imagine if I went to like a dog meat market. I don't know if you know that. There are countries that.
I'm aware, yeah.
Yeah. So if I went and I rescued a dog from that, I'd be hailed a hero. You know? But
Yeah.
imagine you could stop 100 animals from going through that. They
Yeah.
all go through the same system. You know, they get bled, hung upside down, they lose their families.
Yeah, I understand, and I
Okay.
still like to. I'm not gonna change. I do
Can I
think
give you
there's
a card?
different card. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. I still do think there's a different level of morality between killing another human and killing an animal. Because, like I said, those
value system though. I'm just
Okay.
saying
those
what's-
animals kill other animals to survive as well. And I understand
Cows,
your argument.
pigs, chickens,
No, they don't.
fish.
But other ones do, right? And it's
But how does that justify enslaving these other animals?
okay. It doesn't. I don't.
I'm not trying to put you in
Yeah,
a corner
no,
too.
no,
I
know.
just don't want you to
I
feel
don't.
like
I don't like.
It's just this is like the facts. There's just
No,
no
I
difference.
think it's a
between
good
us.
argument. I think it's
If
a
you were
good
the victim,
thought process.
what would you want your oppressor to do?
Enjoy me as a meal.
I don't
if
think
I'm
that's
gonna
an
get
honest
impressed.
answer.
I mean, if I'm
you
gonna
had
get
an option,
impressed.
if they could hear you and they were gonna maybe actually, you want to be spared or would you want to be used?
But they can't communicate with us.
Right. But I'm asking if you.
And that's a
could,
weak
what would you-
justification.
what
I
would you
admit
want?
that, but
what
it
would you
is.
Want? What would you want?
I don't know if
You
my
don't
brain
know if you'd want to
capacity.
be spared
No,
or
no.
not?
Obviously, I would if I had the same mental capacity as I do now. But I don't think they. I don't think.
Well, we already
they do.
talked about that. Humans being unintelligent or not being aware.
It's not unintelligence.
Okay, but consciousness
Even
doesn't
the
justify
lowest
exploiting a
functioning
human that's
human
low
brain
consciousness.
still has a higher
Can I
consciousness
exploit a
than
low
it.
conscious human?
No,
So you just debunked your own claim.
but
You
that's
said
also
that was the line.
constitutional and
So,
lawful.
Legality doesn't equal morality.
I agree.
I need water.
You're right.
Look, I'm going to give you a card. I feel like I might have held you. And I do appreciate you actually stopping by and talking to me because you were holding some reserve.
I think it's a good thought exercise.
So this takes you to our website, and I just encourage you to look at, see what I find. I'm so sorry, my mouth is so dry. So if you click on that, it actually takes you to a 3-minute film. And I just encourage everyone to watch that because it just, if you're going to demand it, you need to know what it is you're demanding someone go through.
Oh,
You know,
absolutely,
whatever
yeah.
you do.
No,
and,
I've seen their
And ask
clips.
yourself, if it were puppies,
Yeah.
would I still be okay with this? Because they care about what's going to happen to them
Well,
just as much.
I don't support any abuse of a puppy. That's so
Right.
messed up.
So what's the difference between a puppy and a cow?
Yeah, well, they're just man's best friend.
So are cows.
No,
Cows,
I've never
they
had a
love to play with balls. They're actually called grass puppies. If you ever meet a cow, honestly, they remind me of giant dogs.
Dude, I've met a cow. I've met a bull. It was running at me. It was pretty scary.
Yeah,
All
when
right.
Well, when they're enslaved, right? Like, of course, they're gonna not
Nah,
always show you their best
they
side.
they were range. They were all like.
That doesn't matter. They're still being
Huge.
exploited, right? Like,
They don't even
go to a sanctuary. They actually interact with, more of their own kind. They usually have a lower temperament. They're much more relaxed, and they're just like dogs.
All right, I'm gonna head out. Thank you
I know.
so much.
I appreciate
it was
you.
a pleasure meeting
What was your
you.
name again? Patrick.
Yeah.
Awesome to talk
Have
to
a
you,
great rest of
Patrick.
your day.
Yeah, thank you for stopping by. My mouth got so dry. That was so embarrassing how dry my mouth was. Like, my lips were literally stuck to my teeth. I was like, I need water so bad. I have water. It's just that I was mid-conversation, so it was so embarrassing. Oh my gosh. It was so distracting. I hate that it was so distracting.
So want to talk to the chat?
Oh, yeah, here, please.
I'll take over.
Please talk.
I'm like parched for some reason. I don't know why. I haven't even talked.
You take over. I just want to hear.
Okay.
Yeah, that was insane.
We're out here in Portland, Oregon at Pioneer Square. Where's the place? I don't know. But
Pioneer Place.
Pioneer Place. Thank you. We're talking about oppression. Should we, as humans, have the right to oppress the animals that we do when we send them into slaughterhouses or use them for medical testing or entertainment, like in zoos and whatnot? So if you're watching, put a 1 in the chat if you are a vegan, and put a 2 if you are not vegan.
Anyone on welfare should not be allowed to eat meat using their EBT card. I think that would cut down factory farming down by half. It's kind of sick that you go to like policing what the poor or the more in need people are doing. Like, maybe you should look at what you're doing. Like, if you're not on EBT, I'd probably argue it's people who without government assistance or, as well, like who are maybe more likely to be able to afford a more expensive plant-based diet. Because even then, like, plant-based diets are not expensive at all. They're actually the cheapest diets, probably on the market. So yeah. So it says if they can't afford it, what does that say? If they can't afford it, they should add to the problem. What? Really? Does that make any sense? Or are you just trying to be like contrarian? Put an EBT pin. Who's this knucklehead? I'm Elvin. I'm part of Anti-Animal Use. We're vegans. We don't believe it is right to exploit anybody for any use, whether that's a human, an animal. But we're here to talk for the animals today. Greetings, Earthlings. I love that term, Earthlings, because it's just so super self-explanatory.
Someone said, I hunt and fish and eat the animals. Well, if you don't need to do that, if you have access or if you have access to other options, then you shouldn't do that. Why kill them when, or I guess unalive, I don't know what I can say, but when you don't need to.
The animal's message is to not eat them, not use them, not abuse them for any reason, whether that's food, entertainment, just pleasure. People race dogs. People are normally against that. We ask why not against any animal exploitation. Hello, Utops, PJ. Hello, Louie. Advice then. I mean, advice would be going plant-based. There's lots of resources on the antianimaluse.org website.
Right, yeah, type in anti-animal use, or you can also, for anybody interested, go ahead and scan that QR if it even...
Oh, it's focused. I don't know.
I don't know if you'll really be able to focus it, but...
Oh, there we go.
Go ahead and scan that if anybody's interested.
You can screenshot it. Yep.
I watch it critically. Like, I'd watch it.
Check it out, the website.
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead and check that out. Got a ton of resources on there.
Someone says, is there evidence that ribeye doesn't taste way better than tofu? I guess we asked if, like, even if it did, right? Does that then make it okay that the cow goes through so much suffering and pain for that, piece of their flesh to be on your plate? Is that right? Do you feel like that's something that you would accept for yourself? Right, like Louis says, there is no biological requirement in the human body for animal flesh, since there's no essential nutrient for humans that can only be obtained by consuming the flesh of animals. So what is your reason for not being vegan? What are we supposed to do with animals from farms, zoos, wild animals? Well, after, right, say if the world did just switch to go plant-based, right, all those animals would now be wild animals or sanctuary animals, and we would just do the best that we can to make sure that their lives are as enjoyable as possible, their quality of life is high, and treat them as we would any dog or cat that we rescue from a shelter. You just do the same thing.
I want to respond. Someone said, if we only eat animals that get injured, are we still exploiting them? Do you mean so if an animal is injured, are you talking about being euthanized, if they need to be put down, or if they're just injured and then you just kill them because you want to eat them? I don't know. I need a little more context on that.
Yeah, because what it sounds like is that you're saying that as soon as a body becomes disabled, it's up for disposal, and that would track with a lot of ableism, and you might want to look into that, because there's no certain way that somebody's body should be to justify them having the right to their own body and then the right to their own autonomy. You can respond to that if you know. What's that? I was gonna say, meat tastes amazing. I just prefer animals to be alive. Well, if you prefer them to be alive, right, then you would just find something that tastes just as good as meat, or is better, which is plants. Because what do we use to season meat and make it taste better? And I don't even like calling it meat, because it really is just animals. You use plants. So just find all the plants that you like, throw them together, eat that instead, if you like animals being alive so much.
How many mites in rabbit die in factory farming of vegetable? So, we respond to this all the time. This is just a crop death argument. We grow more crops to feed the 90 plus billion land animals we breed into existence every single year. So not only are we breeding these animals into existence where we need to clear land, for the farms and for them, and pasture raised animals, for example, all that, then we're also needing to clear land to grow crops to feed them, on top of clearing land for the crops to feed us. So if we just cut out 2/3 of that, if we just cut out the crops grown to feed these animals and the land required to farm these animals, we'd only be growing crops to feed us, right? And so that would free up 75% of our agricultural land, which is the size of North America and South America combined, meaning that those deaths may happen, sure, but it would be much, much, much less. And plus, a lot of vegans advocate for things like veganic farming, where, hopefully one day, as the goal is to get that number down to pretty much zero, as close to zero as we can get. So, I mean, either way, I mean, going plant-based, you're not killing or paying for as many animals to die.
You are not open for discussion. You just want people you just want to convince people to be like you. Well, actually, everything we state typically is just a fact, right? And then however you feel about those facts is going to be like your own internal feeling. So you just take that and run with it. If it's telling you to be a good person inside and stop eating animals, you just stop eating animals. You look into plant-based diets. You go vegan. It's super simple.
Someone said it's not about eating meat, it's about pushing your ideology. And I mean, listen, we can't force veganism onto anybody, right? We're not going to people's houses, let's say, and pinning them down and forcing them, you have to be vegan. But yeah, we are out here advocating for voiceless, innocent animals who can't speak up for themselves against people like yourself, I'm assuming, who consume these animals and that don't need to. And I just, let me ask you this, you're forcing your ideology, I guess if you want to call it, or your views onto these animals that you consume and pay for to be exploited. So, what's worse, us coming out here and just trying to have conversations, or an animal losing everything just because someone wants a 15-minute meal?
Someone says, can we have animal use without abuse and exploitation? Like, would it be wrong to only collect and consume the excessive milk of an animal? Well, the question actually, that's a tough question, right? Because, well, actually not really. The answer is no. And the reason why is because even in a situation of excessive milk from an animal, right? Like, whose milk is that actually for, right? When mammals produce milk, it's normally for a baby from that mammal, right? Like a cow only produces milk for their calf. That's the whole point. So in milk industry, their dairy industry, they're impregnated, their babies are stolen so that humans can drink their milk. I'm kind of wondering, like, how would the milk being excessive, or you only consuming the excessive milk, like maybe like what the calf doesn't need, provided that the cows and the cattle are allowed to form family bonds and like not aren't separated, but it just still wouldn't be right. You're still using them as a product. They're still producing something for you. You're not seeing them as a person with their own inherent like autonomy, and you're definitely not seeing them as like somehow like I see animals as like beyond human kin, right? So like you definitely wouldn't drink your sister's excessive milk. So is that really? I mean, up to you. You can make that decision.
Right, and I mean, think about it this way. I'm assuming you probably wouldn't drink like a cat's or dog's milk, for example, if they had excessive milk in some circumstance, So I mean, really, what's the difference? It's only that we've been told, right? Obviously conditioned to believe that we need cow's milk or that it's healthy and that we should be drinking it, but it's like, we really don't. So if we don't need to, sorry, I'm pulling it over here, but if we don't need to, then why are we? And I think, still continuing to use animals in that way, even though they're not being harmed, it just gives leeway to the mindset still that it's okay to use animals.
Yeah.
And that's what we're out here speaking out against, right? Mm-hmm. The mindset that we have a right to use these animals.
I like what Thomas said. He said, can't use, what did he say? He said, can't have a convo with that animal to even agree upon anything. So you shouldn't take anything. And that's exactly true. It's like we wouldn't steal or take body parts from other humans, right? Because without their consent. So why would we do so with other animals? Yes, exactly. PJ says humans are a species of animal. When did people stop trying to recognize, or why do people only decide to not recognize that humans are animals when we're bringing up animal oppression and animal exploitation? Literally everything I said about the dairy industry is false? I'm sorry, be more specific, because where?
I was just about to say, what's false about
that? Because like now Nick will explain the dairy industry, like what happened.
Yeah, so I mean, in the dairy industry, right? So obviously cows are mammals like us. So in order for a mammal to produce milk, they have to be pregnant. So what do you think happens to these cows? They're either artificially inseminated, or sometimes they use a bull But but they don't give the dairy cow any choice in the matter. Like they don't get to choose who they mate with. You know, depending, it's all what the farmer chooses, right? But regardless, you know, they're impregnated, and then they're like us. They carry their baby for 9 months, and as soon as the baby is born, it is taken straight away from them within 24 hours usually. And if the baby is a male, it's usually sold to be killed as veal usually. Or if it's a female, obviously they're gonna repeat the same exact cycle as the mother. But back to the mother, you know, she'll repeat this process, continue to be forcibly impregnated, give birth, have her baby stolen from her until her milk production inevitably declines, and then there's a slaughterhouse at the end of that, unfortunately. And so, I mean, does that sound like something we should be doing? Does that sound humane to do to animals? Or just to any sentient being? Like, you know, it may be hard to empathize with other species or like a cow, let's say, because we aren't cows, right? Sure, but, you know, you just have to think like, if I were in that situation, or if someone I loved even was in that situation, like how would I feel? Like, you know, would I want that happening to me? And if the answer is no, then, you know, what gives us the right to be doing it to them when we don't need to?
Exactly. You are bloody idiots and have no idea. Well, have you actually looked at any documentaries? You could go watch Dominion. There's tons of resources out there to learn about what exactly goes on in the industries.
I just wanted to say for anybody who's joined more recently that we're here in Portland, Oregon at Pioneer Place Mall, and we're looking to have some on-camera discussions with folks. We've been having some off-camera ones more so, but looking to talk to people about animals and ethics and whether people think it's ethical. Whether people think it's ethical for humans to exploit other animals when we have another option. Let us know your thoughts in the chat. Everyone who's here, continue to double tap the screen, and share the live as well so we can get a bigger audience and have a bigger discussion here. I want to ask you if you're a vegan, because I see there's like 170 people here. If you're a vegan, put a 1 in the chat. Vegans, put a 1. If you're open-minded but not vegan, put a 2. Open-minded but not vegan, put a 2. And trolls, put a 3. Trolls, put a 3. I just want to get a sense of everybody who's here. And to the non-vegans, just put your biggest obstacle to going vegan in the chat so that I can open this discussion with you. I'll do an interview. Yeah.
I'll have you just step in that box, and you'll see in the small phone where you're at.
All right, we're here. And what's your name?
My name is Ryan, bro. How you doing?
I'm doing good. My name is Cooper. It's nice
Cooper?
to meet you. Mm-hmm.
Nice meeting you, Coop.
So we're here to talk about animals. How do you feel about animals in general?
Man, I love animals. I'm a dog person.
You're a dog person?
Yeah. I got a couple myself.
Okay. Like the time that you spend taking care of your dogs, I wonder, what does it teach you about their feelings?
I don't know. It teaches me that they care about me. I know when I walk in the door,
they're excited to see you.
They're excited to see me. I'm like their favorite person. So I feed them. You know how that rolls.
I wonder, has there been an instance where you've noticed or seen your dog suffer?
I mean, I'd like to get them out on walks more, but like I just can't right now because of my back. Like I got physical issues holding me back from being able to walk them. But no, other than that, man, he's chill. He loves just being in my presence and around me. He's probably bummed right now because he's not here with me. So.
Yeah, dogs love their walks. I wonder, but do you think that dogs do you think they can suffer? Do they have this ability to suffer?
Oh yeah, man. They get sick and they have feelings and if you're mean to them, they don't like they don't like being yelled at or like they don't like being alone. They have anxiety from being alone, all that kind of stuff. So try to prevent my dog from being left alone and that kind of stuff.
The separation anxiety.
Yeah.
Exactly,
so
that stuff.
Even when we're here, they're with my kids, so like they're good now. So I don't like leaving them alone very often. And he's not alone very often, neither one of them.
When you think about an animal like a pig or a fish, do you think there's a difference in their ability to suffer from a dog?
No. I think they're animals. They have feelings and stuff too. Just the same, right?
I wonder, as people who live in 2026, do you think that we have other options, or do you think we need to use other animals?
Animals?
Yeah, do you think we need to use them in 2026, or do we have alternatives? For like food or entertainment or clothing? Or do you
definitely not entertainment and clothing, but like food, I mean, they have their need for that, like I guess. Obviously I don't eat my dogs. I don't get attached to cows or nothing when I'm like eating the cows, but I can see that being a problem and stuff too though.
Right. I wonder, like, when you eat the cow, do you think there's anything that you're getting from them that you need, or do you think you could get all of those nutrients elsewhere?
I'm sure you could. I don't know. I was just raised on eating that kind of stuff, so I never really thought about
Same
it
with me,
any other
yeah.
way. So, yeah, I never thought about it any other way. So,
I wonder if you know that they suffer and we have another choice, do you think it's fair for us humans to use them today?
I guess it depends on who you talk to.
What are your thoughts?
I mean, yes, I mean, they provide a sustenance and all that kind of stuff, the protein and all that. So I don't know, man. I guess if you could
get it elsewhere.
like, definitely get it elsewhere and it doesn't taste terrible or whatever, then yeah, teach their own. Go ahead with that. You have that kind of stuff.
So if we had the alternative, you would say it's unfair to use them?
Yeah, if there was like a legitimate alternative, like a legit, like, this is proven to be the exact same nutrients as this and give you the same everything, then sure, yeah. I could totally see.
Yeah, so I wonder if like you went home and it's flashing by the news screen and it says the human body can get all it needs to thrive just from plants and not animals. I wonder, where would that leave you?
I mean, it had me looking at it. I definitely look into it, especially because it.
You sound open-minded.
Oh yeah, totally open-minded. Man, the older I get, like I mean, I've been told that like I got to cut back on the red meat that I eat, like all that kind of stuff. So like, I mean, obviously, like you change your diet. I don't eat sugar anymore. I'm sugar-free stuff now. Like, so I mean, I'm able to make the changes as needed. And like, if they have something that can provide me everything I need without taking the life of an animal, just sure, yeah. I can see myself doing it.
We talk about it a lot in our society, this idea of veganism, and there's so many misconceptions. But when you think of what veganism means, what comes to mind?
They don't eat anything that's alive, I guess. So I don't even know. Like I've never looked into it fully.
We identify it as like a principle against using other animals when we have the option. So like with entertainment and clothing, like you were saying, since we can pick up the cotton shirt rather than the wool shirt, we'll just pick up the cotton one. Or like, for instance, since we can watch a nature documentary and not go to the zoo and contribute to the elephant being confined, we'll just watch the nature documentary. And like similarly with food, if we can pick up, you know, a mock meat or a can of beans or something like that, do you think it's fair for us humans to use or kill animals anymore? What do you think?
Like I said, if there's a proven alternative to it, then it's something we could look at making changes and stepping away from that in the future. I wouldn't be against it.
Yes. So would you say when it's described to you like that, would you say going vegan would be in alignment with your own ethical system?
It could be, for sure. Yeah.
I would love to leave you with some resources that connect you with some more information. I want to ask a couple more questions real quick. When you think about your future and your own ethics, how many animals would you prefer are exploited and used for you in the future?
Exploited? None. I don't want any of them to be exploited for me personally. Like, I have my pet. I didn't buy it for any other reason other than I just like his companionship and enjoy having dogs around and being around him and stuff. So I guess I don't look at him as like a pet per se. I look at him as more of a family member. I grieve when they go, like when they get sick. I take them to the doctor and make sure that they get the best care I can provide them and all that stuff. So like I treat them as like part of our family for sure.
Would you say it would be more in alignment with who you are to treat all animals as kind of our relatives that we share this planet with, rather than as like objects or resources?
People, I try to treat people like that every day. Animals, like I break for squirrels, bro.
I'm the same way. If you witnessed, I wonder, like the slaughterhouse footage every time that you picked up those products, you probably wouldn't want to, right?
No.
Do you think if it's not good enough for your eyes that you should continue to contribute to it? Just a hard question. I'm not trying to get you out.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's something to think about, definitely.
All right.
Yeah.
I want to leave you with a card because you're just so open-minded. It sounds like you would want to have some of this information. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'm down.
I really appreciate you stopping by and talking about these things. I know it can be a little bit challenging of a conversation, but not so much for you. You were very open-minded, and I appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thanks, Coop.
I want to point you to one thing here. Our website is right here, antianimaluse.org.
Okay.
And there's a button on there that says watch what you fund, and it can just be really powerful to make that connection and give you some of the reason why, but it also has recipes and it tells you how to do this affordably if it's in something that you're interested in.
For sure.
Just a lot of information.
Thanks, man.
You know, knowledge is power, so we're just trying to expand the consciousness.
Great meeting you, Cooper.
It's great to meet you. Thank you for your time.
You guys have a good one.
Yeah, thank you.
Much love.
Thank you. Just had a wonderful conversation. Yeah.
Okay.
To anybody who's listening and is wondering where we're at or what's going on, we're here in Portland, Oregon at Pioneer Place, and we're opening up conversations with people about animals and ethics. We're asking, could it be fair to use another animal if we have another choice in 2026? So if you have an answer to that, leave it in the chat so that we can have the discussion there as well.
Hey guys, how's it going? I didn't hear what you just said because the Max drove by. What did you just say to them?
Oh, I was just saying that we're here in Portland, Oregon, for anybody who's, you know,
I didn't
curious.
Want to repeat you. I was about to say that.
Yes, but it was an open-minded conversation. He seemed open to the resources, took the card, and
that's fantastic.
Can't hope for too much more than that.
I talked with the person that was with him as well, and they seemed open-minded to the idea as well, and they're even into public health, and they talk to lots of people, and they're understanding where we're coming from to try to reach people. And she was very open to all the information. She's like, oh yeah, I don't agree with this. So
I love open-minded conversation.
Yes, you should go vegan immediately. No slow baby steps. Baby steps are steps of death. There's still a victim involved. The food chain is just it's the pyramid of showing you how the energy transfers in a system. It's a very simplified version of eco-webs. But again, it just shows you the transfer of energy. So you have the primary consumer, the grass, right? And then you have the herbivores eating the grass, and then you have the carnivores eating the herbivores. Every time you take a step on that pyramid, you're losing 90% of the energy that went into the tier below it. So just eat the plants directly instead of eating animals. That's what that pyramid teaches you. But that's not really why you should be vegan. That's why you should be plant-based for the planet. Veganism, even if it was like, if you could feed animals and they magically did produce more than what you gave them, it wouldn't be fair to enslave someone like that, you know? That wouldn't be fair to take their life when they wanted to live, when it wasn't in their best interest.
Someone said I can pick apart dozens of reasons as to why they are not true vegans, but they don't want to. Go ahead.
Yeah, please point that out. I would love to know why. Why are we not true vegans? How do you justify the animals in the protection of the unnecessary crops for unnecessary foods still considered vegan? So what I would say is we can improve those systems. They don't demand those animals be there. We do have a justification to protect our foods, and sadly we do live in a capitalist system, so that's how that, it's not done by necessity, right? I have no control of that. That's another topic. We're not here to advocate that right now. We're talking about what you want to do is just avoid the animals. Do the life you want to live. Just stop using sentient beings. You can do that. If God didn't want us to eat animals, why are they made out of food? Well, you're made out of food. You're made out of the same thing they are. Ooh, a vegan lasagna. Oh, I love those. All the vegan cheese and the sauce. Oh my gosh. I love like cashew-based cheese. Those are my favorites. But I do love Violife. That Violife is the store-bought one I always get. I didn't see your question. Sorry, Death. Who will put my cart? Oh, I can't move it. Oh, it's going so fast. Sorry, guys. Why did God make beef so delicious? Well, you're delicious. Humans apparently taste like bacon. I mean, if you really want to eat meat, just eat your own leg.
What I was also going to say, the only reason why meat tastes good is because you season it with plants. So, I mean, just swap the meat out for, I don't know, anything of your choice. It can be tofu if you don't like tofu. You can use tempeh, seitan. You season it, it can taste good. So, I mean...
Beans.
Yeah, beans. Literally, like, the only reason it tastes good is because you season it. So...
It's time to assess if we'd like TVs or not.
What?
Oh, it's 2:30?
Oh, the TVs. I thought you said yees, and I'm like, what is that? Do you want to wear a TV?
I don't know. I think I'm okay without them.
Okay, I think I am too.
It feels like a lot of energy to pull them out right now.
It does.
I've already had an angry guy, like, I don't know.
Say again?
Maybe we can start next time with them.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we can test it out every other time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Hey, do you want to have a conversation? Oh, my God. A guy with his dog almost got hit. I know, I don't really like that this guy in the motorized wheelchair is like making his dog run. And it's a little dog, so he has to move his legs. No, but we're Homo sapiens. That's because plants like animals are to be eaten. Well, then humans are meant to be eaten. I am anti-pet. I'm pro-companion. If you have the ability to give someone a rich life and you adopt someone in need, that's one thing. But if you're demanding someone be born for you, that's exploitation. To be your toy or just, as a status. Plants are cool. I agree. I don't know. You need to clarify what is not a valid argument. Hey, do you guys want to have a conversation? Okay. Enjoy the day. It's sunny. Plants don't feel pain. You need a brain or a central nervous system in order to express those things, to be able to make preferences. And that's what us and other sentient beings have in common. We all care. Hi, do you guys want to have a conversation? We're live on YouTube. Okay. It doesn't matter what lions would do. Just because someone would possibly do something, that doesn't mean you have the right to enslave somebody else.
Someone said, how would eating meat help save animals? And well, I mean, it's simple supply and demand, right? So if you're not demanding it, funding these industries, right, then they're not going to supply it, right? So, I mean, if one person, stops their meat consumption or animal product consumption, right, that supply is going to go down a little bit because there's one less customer paying for these products, right? So going vegan, I know I'm not sure the exact number. It can range. I think I want to say it can save at least 100 animals per year, right, from going into that system. So
those that are just coming in here, we're in Portland, Oregon, in front of the Pioneer Place Mall. Come on down. Talk to us if you're here in the area. We're on 5th and Morrison if you want to come by. And yeah, if not, just start tapping that screen, share, like. We need to get more peoples in here. We need them to hear about what we're talking about. What about salmon? They're sentient. They care about what happens to them. What justifies violating their bodies when they want to live? Hunting when it's not necessary is just cruel. That's just, unnecessary exploitation. You're taking someone's life in their own home when they were just standing there. It's not fair. Just because you enjoy tracking them down like a predator, that's not fair to them. They didn't get to agree to that. I love Joey Carbstrong. He's awesome. I think we had some awesome stars in our chat. We had Mel and Steve, I believe, earlier. They have a project Livestream going on. It's going to be April 10th. And anti-animal use will actually be a part of that. So please come and check us out too. But go check out It's Mel and Steve and their It's Project Livestream. Also, if you could, please go check out Total Liberation Now here on YouTube, because we're trying to get them up to 50 follows, because they're going to start going live with us when we do Project Livestream. So help us out there. And until then, if you're a vegan, type 1. If you're not a vegan, type 2. And 3, if you're just curious.
Someone made a comment. I don't know exactly. Some people are complete idiots. What are you going to eat? Air? And no, you can just eat plants. If you're referring to, if we stop eating animals, what are we going to eat? We can literally just eat plants.
Exactly. Plants are not sentient. They literally do not care if you eat them. Okay, I see a spread. So those that are not vegan, please tell us why you're not vegan, and we'll address those. Go check out Christspiracy. I'm not as well informed on religious perspectives. I would just say, even if you had a religion that did say you must violate someone, that doesn't mean you need to. That doesn't justify the victim having to go through that. So I don't care what your religion says, right? My body, my body, not your body. So that's the point. But go check out Christspiracy. You might be surprised at the information you learn. So the only ethical way is to take care of them like in a sanctuary.
We're
hey,
live on YouTube. Did you want to?
What?
We're live on YouTube. Did you want to? Yeah, or we can talk off camera.
do you want to?
No, not Portland. Keep that in mind.
Okay. Do you want to?
Cowboy.
Can we have a conversation or? Awesome. Do you want to interview him? Okay. I'll take this from you, and then just make sure you're stepping in that.
Yeah,
Might
so
need to check. There you go.
All right, so we're out here today. We're talking about kind of like dynamics between the powerful and the powerless. So, like, do you think the powerful should have the right to oppress the powerless?
What's oppression?
Like, I would say using someone like unfairly, right? Like unnecessarily, like in this case, like, or just, if someone has like kind of like on the sign, You can see,
I think it matters what context. Are you talking in the spiritual context? Are you talking in the physical? Are you talking socioeconomically? Are you talking geopolitically? Are you talking race, gender, civil rights?
I guess that covers a lot. I mean, we'll just kind of like
past reparations for Native American wrongs, not blacks, only natives.
Well, I mean, we'll, I guess, speak to it in like a more broader term. Just let's say someone, for example, like if you can see on the thing, like they're stronger than someone, right? Just it does just anybody, for example.
Okay.
Or they're smarter, right? Does that give someone the right?
Absolutely not.
Right. Yeah, and we agree.
Satoya?
Yeah, we obviously agree. I think anybody who doesn't agree is not right in the head. But we are out here, we're kind of switching it up a little bit. We want to ask people how they feel kind of about like the animals, for example, that we send into slaughterhouses. And,
animals?
Yeah. How do you?
Okay, so now we're deducing all the way down to the most simplistic creation on earth.
Well, I mean, why do you think they're like a simplistic?
I'm just saying, like, for all the stuff we have going on, I feel like our energies and our efforts could be used in a much more streamlined fashion than worrying about the animals when we got to take care of the people first.
Well, I mean, sure, there's other issues going on.
It's
and
like, hey, you can't feed your cat unless you go to the grocery store and buy your cat food, right? I don't like cats. But what I'm saying and what I'm getting at is that you're talking about taking care of the animals when we got to take care of people first.
Well, I mean, we can do both. I mean, just because, we obviously, I mean, you can care about humans more. There's no issue with that. But like, what we're saying is, do we need to, unnecessarily exploit the animals? Like,
exploitation is a product of a wicked man on earth. The only thing that's going to cure that is the second coming of Jesus Christ.
All right. Well, I mean, I'll be honest. I'm not necessarily religious myself, but I guess that might be a good topic to think about. Do you think Jesus, for example, sorry, that's loud. How do you think he would, feel about kind of like the systems we've created, like slaughterhouses and, or like just the ways we use animals? Do you think
Jesus Christ? What would Jesus Christ's wisdom be on slaughterhouses? Now, I don't want to take the liberty to elevate myself to the stature of speaking of a man who, died for our sins on the cross. But I would say simplistically, and let me just try to think, just throw something out there. This isn't even intellectual. It's just saying that, I would think he wants to save the souls of men first. Because Jesus said in the Bible, he says, I'll feed the birds. The birds will take it. The birds don't have to worry about what they eat or where they eat. I take care of the birds. He says, you need to take care of saving people's souls. So, I mean, for me, that would be my venture.
Okay. But do you think, though, if we don't necessarily need to use animals or like harm them, do you think he'd be happy with it?
If you don't have to do it, you ain't got to do it.
Right, exactly. And do you think now in 2026, when we have access to other means, right? Like maybe way back when, right? Obviously,
so are you talking about a soft euthanized approach to putting a mean coat on Melinda Gates, or are you talking about like Joe Pesci in Casino getting beat up in the cornfield with baseball bats type thing for animals, or you just don't want animals harmed or touched at all?
Well, I mean, we just considering it's 2026 and we have other things we can use, we don't need to use animals anymore, right?
So what is eligible to be eaten?
I mean, we can eat plants.
We can't eat animals?
I mean, we can, sure, we can eat animals.
Are you a bad person if you eat animals?
No, I don't think people are bad people for eating animals.
Are they making a wrong moral sociological decision?
Well, I mean, a lot of people are not usually aware of the fact about like what animals go through, right? Or they don't really think about it. So no, I wouldn't say someone's a bad person because I mean, I wasn't born. We are talking about veganism. I wasn't born vegan, right? So I went 22 years of my life consuming animals. I just wasn't aware. I didn't understand the process and what happens to animals. But once I learned and figured that out, it's just not something I wanted to fund. Because, right, if I don't need to fund unnecessary harm and exploitation.
I'm going to put it like this, right? In the Bible, it says, even the trees praise God. So I believe even trees and plants and animals have a spirit because it says that in the Bible. So if it says even the trees praise God, then the animals who have a little more life than just being still, at least, in a way, they deserve better treatment too. And I feel like if God made your heart to be microscopically or even expansively attached to even the most microscopic, minute, injustices on earth, like how animals are slaughtered or if they're eaten or not, then I think, hey, you should put your heart into that and your mission, brother.
Yeah.
And I support it 100%.
Would you, well, I mean, hey, that's great, and I appreciate that. Would you be willing, I have a resource card. You don't have to take it, but would you be willing to look into it?
I would. I'll take a look at it.
Okay, yeah, so on the front, this is actually our website. So you can scan the QR code, or you can look it up.
Is this like Antifa for animals?
No, I mean, we're not Antifa. We're not, doing, we're not breaking anything, or we're just out here talking to people. That's all we're doing. We're not vandalizing anything.
I'm with it, man. I think it's a positive thing, probably, man.
Yeah, but you can always scan those, or just
give me one healthy thing to eat besides a juicy steak that my wife just cooked with A1 sauce on it, as opposed to say, I don't know, give me something.
I mean, I could give you loads of healthy things. I mean, do you want like something more? Like, are you talking more kind of like to replace the meat, or?
Yeah.
I mean, you could have
steak and the A1 sauce, and the mashed potatoes and the green beans, man.
I mean, nothing wrong with mashed potatoes. Obviously, there's no animal involved in that, but
no steak, no T-bone.
Well, yeah, you could. I mean, tofu, for example. I don't know how you feel about tofu.
Tofu steak with A1 sauce.
Sure.
America, we're gonna poll you on that. My name is Dominic Durst. I love my lovely wife, Satoya, and this man is a gentleman.
All right, well,
give him his respect.
Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it, man. All right.
You don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, that was an all right conversation. I don't know if you... I don't know. It was all right.
Good.
But yeah, we can switch it.
Okay. All right. How did we feel about that conversation in chat? You can blow it up if you can give a thumbs up emoji if you liked that conversation, and thumbs down if you thought that guy was crazy.
No,
Do you feel like he was...
he was a nice guy.
You never know.
He was a nice guy.
That's good.
I gave him the resource card, so hopefully he checks that out.
Yeah, hell yeah. Let's gotta give a... Oh, you said you are pro animal use, says Flacarona. That's really sad. Are you pro your own use? Like, you're an animal, so you gotta be pro your own use too. You gotta be pro people using you. Someone says, well-planned vegan diet can be very healthy. Honestly, I'd say even some of the, like, not planned vegan diet or plant-based diets can be pretty healthy too, at least in comparison, especially if you're relating it to a carnivore diet. That's for sure. Someone says, you guys are intellectually dishonest every time I see you in public. I will hold you accountable the next time I see you. Okay, go ahead, please. I would like to.
I was gonna say, you can come by and have a conversation.
Yeah, we're very open, typically, like every time, about having open conversations with people in the public. Our bodies are designed to consume meat too. Just because you have the ability to do something doesn't mean you should do something. So just because I have the ability with my hand to hit somebody doesn't mean that I'm meant to do so, right? And even if so, like, you should question your actions as you go throughout life, right? And as you grow, or as things change or situations change. So now that we're not in times of living in subsistence where we need subsistence hunting, we're looking around at the world going, why are we breeding and slaughtering animals by the millions? It's really insane. Someone says honey, question mark. We don't use honey as vegans. Bees are exploited for honey. It takes 3 bees, like, their whole lifetime to produce a teaspoon of honey. So we don't use honey. Someone says animals. Oh, that's Louis. Louis says animals like humans, chickens, fish, cows, goats, turkeys, deers, elephant, pandas, etc. are all sentient. Exactly. Sentience is the key factor there. How do you guys know? Wait, what does this say? How do you guys get iron? This is a real question. Honestly, I actually am probably one of the not as great vegans to ask about this question, because I actually don't really pay attention to, like, my iron intake, at least not heavily at all. I mean, if I notice if I'm feeling odd, I'll go to the doctor, but I eat plants. I eat enough calorically, and I get exactly what I need from a plant-based diet. Yes, exactly. Someone's like, you don't even know what? I'm like, yes, I don't know. I literally don't know what nutrients I'm getting or not. I know I take my supplement. I know I eat plants. I literally on a plant-based only diet. I get enough calorically, and everything seems to work out. It's a real misconception that, like, it's impossible or it's super hard or that you need to count your calories or measure, like, weigh out your protein. Like, I don't even know, man. It's just crazy. Someone said, as I stated, I stopped giving my plant water once and it died. proof they're basically human. So if you care about plants now because they're human, they're basically human, right? You would probably want the least amount of plants being harmed. So what we are going to do from this point on is we're going to go on a plant-based diet, because what a plant-based diet does is ensures that, there's the least amount of food having to go around, right? So vegans are mostly vegans who are on a plant-based diet, right, are primary consumers. Anything else, if you eat animals, you get your proteins from them, that's going to be a secondary consumer. Now, why would you want to filter all your nutrients through somebody else and take their life at the same time? It just kind of seems a little ridiculous. And I meant verbally accountable. I'm argumentative and I make it fun. Oh, perfect.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna have you stand in that square right there. Yes, you can wave. So we're just live on. And I'll give you a card just so you can find the live later. If you scan that, you can watch the live later and see how we did.
Okay.
So my name's Anna again. Just for the audience, what was your name?
My name is Joaquin.
Joaquin, awesome. So what brings you to this corner of Portland?
We're just doing some shopping with my sister and my mom. My sister's at Sephora right now, so I'm just got some time to kill.
I love it. Awesome. I won't take too long. So we'll just jump right to it. Should the powerful have the right to oppress the powerless?
No, it's a balance of powers that's supposed to keep everything going, right?
Totally agree. Yes, exactly. It's not fair for someone who does have power to abuse that, right?
Right.
So again, that's just to establish like that common ground. So this might feel like the trick.
Okay.
And if you feel uncomfortable, just know you can walk away anytime, okay?
All right, good to know.
So how do you feel about the animals that we use for food, clothing, entertainment, like the circus and the zoo?
Sure.
Would you agree that as humans, we're the powerful oppressing the powerless?
I guess, yes.
Yeah. So is there anything you think that we might need from animals that would justify what we do to them?
Well, substance, right? We use them for food, sustenance. And the entertainment part's really quite horrible because it's, even if you say it's between me and the lion, right? But the lion would never put you in a circus, so you probably wouldn't.
You're totally right on, tell me further, like what is it about, because I agree, for you, why do you think like the circus or the zoo are unfair?
Well, I guess it's a very social thing. It's just unnatural.
Yeah, exactly. They're kept in like spaces that are uncomfortable. Their experience isn't very positive, right? Yeah, exactly. And if we were in that situation, we know that we wouldn't be happy either.
Right.
Yeah. So that's all we're trying to point out, is that we share a lot of actual principles. We care about the same things. If someone was, this is going to sound dramatic, so bear with me. If someone was standing on the corner and they were kicking a dog and they were saying, I'm doing this for fun and exercise.
Yeah, no, that's got to stop.
Right, exactly. Because the dog's experiences, again, right? Those matter more than those benefits that the person was gaining.
Yeah, because you can exercise some other way. Just go kick a soccer ball. It doesn't. You don't have to hurt something to get that exercise.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right on it. Did you know the word vegan?
I do know the word vegan. My sister's a vegetarian, actually.
Oh, okay.
But
what made her go vegetarian? Well, you might have to just speak into my bacon here.
Yeah, I think it's combined factors. She does really feel bad when she eats meat. She cites the environmental impact often of the meat industry and fishing specifically.
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
But she's never been able to quite go vegan because I don't know. She really likes baking and stuff.
Yeah, baking. It's funny. Baking's actually one of the easiest ones to replace. Yeah. There's a lot of good alternatives, but sometimes it's not something that dawns on us that we can just look up these alternatives.
Oh, right.
So do you think there's any justification in your mind that might justify further purchasing these products or demanding animals go through this? Or do you think that knowing this, if someone was to learn that they're causing harm, they should stop?
Well, we gotta...
I know, take your time.
I don't know if we can put animals' well-being over people's. You know, sometimes making the vegan products also takes a lot of hard work for people that go unnoticed, I think.
Sure.
We're very privileged to be addressing like the plights of the animal world, but we got a lot of social stuff to work through before I can really get to veganism.
I totally agree. There's a lot of human atrocities going on.
Yeah.
The reason why we're out here talking about this, even in the climate that we have out in the world right now, is because, I don't know about you, I don't demand humans be bombed or harmed or starved, right? But humans often do demand animals go through these atrocities multiple times a day if they're looking for clothing or entertainment, right? But your food choices are pretty simple. These just moving your hand can change that for them. So with that in mind, you have that card. Can I ask you 2 final questions?
All right.
All right. So would you be willing to, three questions. I'm so sorry. Would you be willing to watch a documentary on that card, the 3-minute film?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. This is where it gets a little tough. Would you be willing to not purchase any more animal products until you watch that 3-minute film? Going plant-based, essentially.
Well, can I have lunch and then do that?
Well, I urge you honestly to think about this before lunch. Would you be willing to try a vegan meal just for lunch and then watch the film and
Sure.
see how you feel? And I'll explain why. There's actually studies on it that show if you're consuming animal products and watch this film, you don't tend to pay attention. And it's called cognitive dissonance. And if you eat something plant-based, you're not struggling with that. It's an interesting phenomenon that happens. I appreciate you. So are you willing to do that?
Yes.
I really appreciate you doing that. It's amazing. Okay, last question. How many more animals do you want exploited for you? Is it more than 0?
Do I want exploited for me? I don't know enough about what I buy to really say that number.
Let me, well, so again, you did emphasize the word I was looking for. How many do you want exploited? I understand there's a lot of hidden stuff, and you will learn as you're seeing and you start to notice things.
Right.
But, as you learn, that's when we know better, we do better. So how many more do you want exploited for you?
None.
Exactly.
But
Then
I
those
get
are
them
your
all
values.
the time. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, I really appreciate you walking in. I'm going to let you go. I really appreciate you taking that plant-based challenge.
Fun. All right.
Thank you. Give me an elbow. You have a good day. And like I said, you can watch this live. Cool. You have a good day. Yeah. That was amazing, guys. I love open-minded people. And especially taking time out of, they're going shopping and, it's a family day. I really appreciate that. It was really sweet. Do you guys want to talk to the chat? Okay.
You can. Okay.
You want to join?
I want to have a conversation.
Okay, so I'll pass it off to you.
Yeah, we get a conversation.
Hello to everybody who's here in the chat. To anybody who's joined more recently.
I see Flacorona still here. So they're pro-animal use.
And to anybody who's curious, we're here in Portland, Oregon at Pioneer Place. We're having discussions about animals and ethics, and we're asking the question and opening up a conversation about the question, is it fair to use other animals when we have another choice?
Vegans do not eat eggs. Well,
no, they don't.
No, they don't.
Yeah, so there's a few layers of cruelty with eggs that are invisibilized in our society. The first is that these birds are selectively bred and genetically manipulated across generation to produce more eggs than their ancestors did. For instance, the birds in factory farms lay about an egg every single day, whereas their ancestors laid just one egg a month. Sorry.
I was going to say they can guess.
Yes. And then the next layer of exploitation within the egg industry is that at the breeding facility, the male birds, as well as the intersex birds, they're seen as useless as they'll never produce eggs. So they're treated as disposable objects, and they're ground up, fully conscious while they're alive in an industrial blender. Does that sound fair to you? And then the third level of exploitation is once the female bird's egg production begins to decline, once the farmer can't get what they want out of them anymore, those birds at about 18 months into what would have been a 5 or 10 year life, they are killed. Does any of that sound fair, or does it really sound different from the meat or flesh industries? What would distinguish it? Somebody says, what about free range? So that doesn't affect whether these birds are genetically manipulated and pushing out an egg every day for you, and it also doesn't address at the breeding level whether the males are ground up alive. That happens on the free range farms, on backyard farms, it happens on every farming system today. Somebody says meat tastes good, so this is an argument for pleasure. Do you think pleasure is a moral justifier for violence against others? Can we justify being violent to a dog, for instance, because it brings us pleasure? If not, what's the difference between a fish, a pig, and a dog that makes it okay for the fish or the pig, but not okay for the dog? Name the difference. To everybody who's here in the live, double tap that screen. Keep double tapping. share the live as well. We want to expand this conversation. And I'm going to ask the vegans to put a 1 in the chat. Vegans put a 1. Non-vegans who are open to this conversation put a 2. Non-vegan but open put a 2. And if you're a troll, put a 3. And I'm going to ask the non-vegans to put their best argument or their biggest personal obstacle to going vegan in the chat so that I can address some of them. I'm seeing lots of 2s. I see a 4. What could that mean? Somebody says 2.5. Does that mean you're in between being open and a troll? Interesting.
6, 7.
Seeing lots of 3s, so I'm seeing some trolls. To the non-vegans, to the people who are putting 2s, I'm asking you to put your best argument against veganism in the chat so that I can open up this discussion with you. And to anybody who's curious where we're at, we're here in Portland, Oregon. We're having discussions about animal liberation. Most of us support human liberation from systems of oppression like capitalism and racism and patriarchy and sexism. But are we consistent? Do we also support the abolition of animal oppression, the needless use of other animals when we have another option? Somebody says, vegan for life. Great to have the vegans here. Great to have the mods here. Thank you all. Continue double tapping that screen and sharing. Somebody says abortion, question mark. This is a live about animal liberation. We're not necessarily here to talk about abortion ethics, but there are other lives that do that. So please find one of those. Somebody says Democrats. I'm not a Democrat. I'm actually an anarchist politically. It's not necessarily what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about animal liberation, but I'm definitely not a Democrat. Somebody says factory farming is bad, but meat is good. So even on a farm where an animal is treated much nicer, where they don't suffer as much, is it fair to chop them up when we don't need to? That's the question we're asking. Leave your response in the chat. Somebody said, are all vegans gay? No, there are many heterosexual vegans, including some who are here with us today. I'm personally not. I'm a queer person. Somebody says, it costs so much more to produce and cultivate vegan foods. So I want you to provide the link to the study that demonstrates that plant-only diets cost more than their omnivore counterparts, because as far as I'm concerned, this sounds like a falsehood, because Oxford University conducted a study on this specific question, and their research demonstrated that plant-only diets are about 30% more affordable than omnivore diets if you focus on foods like lentils, beans, rice, grains, potatoes, local fruit, veg. So if affordability is your concern, that is not an obstacle to going vegan. Somebody says, beef is nice, I love all meat. Do you like dog meat? Would you support exploiting and killing dogs when you don't need to, when you could simply eat something else, when you could survive and thrive on plants only? Is it fair to exploit and kill dogs? Put your answer in the chat. To anybody who is here more recently, or who has joined more recently, I should say, and is curious where we're at, we're in Portland, Oregon, at Pioneer Place Mall. We're opening up discussions both off camera and on camera when people are open enough to stop by about animal ethics. We're talking about the question, is it ethical to exploit our animal relatives that we share this planet with if we have another choice, if we don't need to exploit them? Why would we, is the question I'm asking. And to everybody who's here, continue double tapping that screen, continue sharing the live. Somebody says, do you feel frail? No, I feel pretty good right now. I know my face is a little blown out, the sun is shining pretty bright, but I feel great. Thank you for checking in. Somebody says, are you Christians? We're not a Christian organization, but it's important to recognize that you can be religious and vegan, and you can be a religious non-vegan. So it doesn't affect your veganism or your ability to go vegan, whether you're religious or not. It's not a barrier. There's no religion that mandates you to use animals.
Might as well volunteer in one.
All right.
Alrighty. So, our question today
God,
is
I'm
about...
a little nervous. I know.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah.
Go on.
That's perfect. You could, I don't know. I was gonna say picture everybody naked, but they're all on the screen. So.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm Elvin.
Elvin, pleasure meeting you. My name's Anthony.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, indeed.
So how do you feel? This is our question today. Is should the powerful have the right to oppress the powerless?
I mean,
how do you feel about that?
So, I feel like that's a really good question.
Mm-hmm.
So you're talking about it in terms of people who just have like power.
Who have power, like no smart or strong. Like should they then have the right to oppress somebody who doesn't have that power?
I absolutely think it's unfair, 100%.
Right.
It's 100% unfair because, and I love this question because the best way I can describe it, it's like people who are basically like have such a capitalist mindset
Yeah.
They're very, one time I was in a Lyft ride, right? And an Uber driver or whatever whatever he was at the time. And then, he was driving and, he was making money. And he said weekly he was averaging around like 3,000 or 4,000 a week. But yet, the corporate was complaining about drivers making that much money.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like, how, like, I don't, it's like the best way I can describe it. It's like, who can understand the logical sense behind that?
Yeah. Well, I guess it's like, so even though they have, like, say the corporate has power, right? They have control over, like, however much the drivers are making who are actually providing the service, right? So, like, that's obviously wrong. So we say, like, just the way that they abuse their power, like, there's many situations where humans abuse the power that they have over animals. And so, like, we oppress animals in many ways with things like greyhound racing or stuff like that, horse racing, whether, for food, like by and large, like they're used for breeding, slaughtered by the millions just for food. And so we ask today, like, if we know that we have many options that don't include animal exploitation or animal suffering in general, what's stopping us from using those substitutes or shifting away as a society as a whole, away from using animals or seeing them as objects, because that's essentially like what we do. Like, we reduce them to objects so that we can feel comfortable using them.
Well, yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's just also when it comes to, like, clothing and things like that too. I mean, I know I'm wearing leather, which is something, I mean, there's like, now the one thing I will agree with is that, so speaking of like animals and all that stuff, the one thing that does creep me out of everything are taxidermies.
Oh yeah, I also feel weird about taxidermy because we wouldn't like stuff our grandmother, or stuff like that, to honor their memory or something. We tend to like want them to be, buried in the ground or whatever society. I mean, like, not to say that, like, not to not to treat any or say that any culture that does do that is inherently terrible, but it just personally I feel weird about that because, like, where I'm from, we don't stuff our dead relatives, and that's typically how I see animals, as relatives.
Yes.
I feel like there's a lot of power in that people don't recognize that they could use today. Like, how do you feel about maybe seeing animals as not as objects, but as like beyond human kin? Like, have you ever heard that term?
Absolutely. I've heard of, like, I don't know if I heard of that term specifically, but I know I've heard of something very similar to what you said. Yeah, like the ideologies. Yeah, the idea part of it.
Do you feel like you would like subscribing to that type of mentality, like seeing animals as relatives? Do you feel like that would be something that maybe more aligns with your morals, or doesn't?
Like, to a lot of degree it does, because I mean, especially, it really depends. Like, I mean, it's kind of hard to describe.
It does get hard. Well, it's hard because we start to think about situations where, we feel like our use of animals may be justified. Like, well, culturally, this food has been in my family. Like, we've been cooking and making this and enjoying this meal for generations. However, like, the question that we start to ask in those situations is, how are we justifying that use, though? Because when we look in any other situation, we can say that culture doesn't justify that oppression, right? Like, just because it's culturally acceptable for men to abuse women, right? It's still not morally right. Like, we still can take a stance against that. We can acknowledge that that's maybe part of our culture that we don't want to acknowledge anymore as we move forward as, like, a society or as a culture in general. And so what we say is, like, there's good parts to culture, there's bad parts of culture. You try to take the good and keep that and reshape what you can, especially when it comes to around, like, animal rights. Because as it's been obvious that they've been objectified and put into objectified stances forever.
True.
And so that's something we're trying to turn away from.
That's something I would definitely be more involved in.
Have you heard of veganism at all?
That's a really good question. I don't know if I've heard of that specifically.
Veganism is like
veganism.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I know about veganism. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, I misunderstood
no
for a minute because I wasn't too sure what you said. My mind is just all over the place. But yes, veganism, like people who avoid every animal product that they can avoid.
Well, actually, it's more so, okay, so veganism, that's actually something vegans do, right? That's a consequence of veganism, not inherently negative or anything. Or positive.
Yeah.
Just a consequence of veganism. So what veganism actually is the stance that is a stance against the animal exploitation, right? Against the exploitation of sentient beings for any use for any reason whatsoever, right?
Yeah.
Because sentient beings, they think, they feel, they want to form communities of their own and stuff like that.
True.
So we just acknowledge that, and then so because of that acknowledgement, we don't feel it's right that we pay for or actively contribute to any system that's perpetuating their harm.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Right? Like as far as I see the point. Like as far as like in terms of like. Like you said, like any form of use.
Yeah, like zoos or rodeo.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. We wouldn't go to those or aquariums because like those fish should be swimming free if they can. The rodeo animals shouldn't be getting ridden and like abused like it's a spectacle. And then like and ever to the zoo, like they're all confined. Even if the Oregon Zoo, like there's a lot of abuse towards the elephants specifically. You can look up there actually if you'd like. There's a lot of research on the abuse that the elephants have faced at the Oregon Zoo, and that's just one species of animal. And so I guess what we get at, right, is that veganism is not the diet, right? Veganism is the mindset, and then you have a plant-based diet, which is the food component.
True.
May I ask you maybe what would be the hardest part, or what's stopping you from maybe going vegan or seeing these animals, right? And that's keeping in mind, like it's not not necessarily the plant-based diet part. It's the mindset. Like what's stopping you from switching your mindset?
That's a good question. That's a really good question. No, from this point on, like that's something I actually want to be more involved in.
I'm glad that because I'm sure. That's what we believe, right? Anti-animal use, we're a group out here, we do outreach, conversational outreach. We believe that a lot of the people out here are wanting to do so. They just maybe don't have the resources on how, or maybe haven't literally thought about it. Like I had not thought about, I actually didn't know how we got cow's milk before I went vegan, or like before I started thinking about
That's why I drink
veganism.
almond milk.
Right, yeah, because like they're mothers who are separated from their babies at the end of the day. Like that's what has to happen for milk. Like for us to get cow's milk or any mammal's milk. They have to be impregnated. The baby has to be taken away so that they don't drink the milk, so that we can drink it. And so like it's just all about recognizing that those injustices are injustices.
Yeah.
And wanting to just do better. Can I get you a card? We have a card with like a bunch of resources.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can I get a card from one of you? Woo! Can I get a card? I just don't have one in my pocket. I don't know why I didn't grab one. But yeah, so this card, it'll show a bunch of like nutrition facts. It shows Dominion. This is like a documentary that shows standard practice. So if you do continue to eat meat or eat animals, so to say more specifically, right?
I could definitely work with this.
Yeah, I mean, like this, it's super easy, right? Because when you think about it, all meat and dairy probably isn't even a big part of your diet right now.
True.
And honestly, if it is, that's when you probably see health consequences. Not that health is ever a reason that we go vegan, right? Because we do veganism for the animals, right? We recognize that they're sentient beings. Then the plant-based diet can have health benefits and stuff like that. So.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, definitely has a lot of benefits into it for sure. Because I mean, quite honestly, like I still. Like me, I still eat protein. I still eat chicken every now and then.
Well, like plants have protein though.
And like plants too. Like I eat like different proteins as well. Like I just but definitely the part I do agree with though, like the whole thing with like how like they're in zoos and like they're trapped in places. That part I absolutely agree with.
Well, but even like so like the slaughterhouses, right?
Yeah.
Like they're basically zoos just for murder.
That's
and
true.
every animal who like we eat, or every animal whose life we take, has to go through that system. And it's actually 99 it's like actually up there. The percentage go through like the factory slaughterhouse like system. So
that's true.
If you're really against that, like that zoo and the confinement, and you want these sentient beings to, be liberated at some point, the only way to do that is to go vegan, changing that mindset, right?
That's true.
And then taking that and do it, because the other part of veganism, right, is doing it as far as possible and practicable.
Yeah.
So we recognize, right, that people who are living in subsistence situations where they need to hunt for their food, or they need to kill somebody for their, like, obviously, I probably honestly wouldn't, even if it came down to it.
Yeah.
But the people who are living in those situations who have to, like, we don't judge them because they're still doing what's as far as possible and practicable. So, that's when they get the subsistence, like, and they use the rest of the animal to honor them. It comes from that mentality.
One thing I will tell you, now, like, I can tell you this much: if I can afford anything in the world, and if I had my life like fully settled, then definitely like veganism would be the way to go.
Well, actually, and that's actually another common misconception, is it's actually one of the cheapest diets. Because think about it, like it's just the plants, like it's the legumes, the beans, like on that card, it's the beans, the rice, the noodles, like it's that stuff. What they do, right? So because the country is founded on oppression, right?
Yeah.
The country is built up in this like colonial systems of domination, right?
Yeah.
And taking and whatever. So what benefits them the most? Would it be you going on a plant-based diet, or is it you still seeing animals as objects and perpetuating their use? Because like think of how much money they make off of the animal agriculture industry.
That's true.
Versus how much money could be saved if we just switch to farming plants instead.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, because I want to eat something that's more like, something that's gonna benefit my diet, like as far as like, because eating, it just depends. I want to eat something that's plant-based and natural, which is I've tried food that were like plant-based and tasted natural, because I don't like the artificial stuff.
Right,
either.
Processed anything is going to be bad. I mean, they did show a study that like processed plant-based foods are still better than like a processed animal-based food, because
that's true.
Like, I don't know, I don't really know the whole science behind it, but that was the consensus. I
would much rather eat that than because the processed animal part, it's still somebody's, and it's what we recognize there is it's still somebody's life was taken for that, right? Like if something's processed but it was plants, like we know it wasn't someone who was processed, right? Like it wasn't a cow who could listen to music. It wasn't a chicken who had had many different personalities. Like that's true.
So it's at the end of the day, it's about acknowledging your impact, because we do really have an impact on these animals. Like if you were to go plant-based completely, like you would save at least 100 to 300 animals a year. It's estimated that I think humans eat up to like 7,000 animals throughout their lifetime just on their own. And so it's about taking your part in everything seriously. Like you said, like you want to make an active choice to make that mental switch.
Definitely.
And would you say it's because you believe like animals are sentient, like they think and feel?
Yeah, I could definitely sense that, because like it's so much complexity involved into it. Like people are just like, sometimes they have to go hunt for something that they need.
Yeah.
It's just it's a very tough situation, but at the same time, it's like more, if people have options to just eat, like protein type of vegetable, then I would go that way, because in other words, you're right. It definitely saves you a lot of money. You don't have to, because now even like you go to a place where they have protein and everything, that just pretty much, that's so expensive now. So definitely.
Well, and like they control the prices of like, so meat, which is like animal flesh, right, is subsidized by the government. So they actually control the prices of like meat and how it fluctuates. Like if it's going high, they'll buy out a bunch of companies so that it goes low. So like what the only real power we have, right, is divesting entirely and taking ourselves and stop seeing them as object or as product, because as soon as we change what we see as change what more so who we see as food, then the whole world can open up. Like there's lots of plant-based recipes and stuff that are exactly like their animal-based alternatives, and we'll just see that as time goes by that it's just completely unnecessary.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. And that's what I mean, like anything like whatchamacallit, like mentioned earlier, like almond milk, that's what I drink. And also like what do we prefer, like we want to go to a place where like you mentioned about nature earlier, we want to go out to an open space where there's like a lot of flowers,
and biodiversity.
The biodiversity aspect of it. We want to see beautiful butterflies just floating in the air. Like we want to see that kind of stuff. Because like you're right about the whole zoo part of it. I mean, I absolutely agree, because like a lot of people are insane when they're doing a show here, when they're doing this and that and such, they just feel they're treated as objects. And that is true.
And so I guess I want to ask just a couple final questions. Like, so I want to say, is there anything stopping you from walking away from this conversation with an effort to maybe go vegan?
Yeah, I mean, no. Like I could definitely.
Yeah. I mean, with that card, like you'll have so many resources. Like it covers the money aspect, it covers health aspect, it covers like.
And I need to get on the good health too.
Exactly. So. I mean, there's so many benefits to that you will gain from treating animals and seeing them as kin, because like prior to colonization, that's really what they were seen as, and a lot of cultures will see that around the world too.
Give me a second.
Yeah, no worries.
I'm just looking for the card. I'm just gonna check if I put it in my wallet.
No worries, we can get you another one too if you don't have it. Oh, perfect.
Boom.
Heck yeah. But yeah, you can either scan the QR code on there, stuff like that. I would highly encourage watching this documentary though. It's like the Dominion on there.
Yes.
Because that just shows standard practice. It shows what you've been paying for and maybe what you no longer want to pay for as well. Because I truly believe if everybody saw, and this is a great, it says Food Not Bombs PDX, free vegan meals every Wednesday and Saturday at Buckman Elementary School.
You know what? I might as well take advantage of this.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Because, and then as you do, like you'll see that there is a vegan community, that there are people who are making that mindset change. Like you may feel alone, or it may feel like, it's not as popular or something, but it's really where the world is headed. Seeing animals as giving them their rights as they deserve. We're not free until all of us are free. And we just feel like that should be extended to animals,
No, definitely. I mean, this is going to benefit me in a lot of ways, because like this will help me lose weight. And that's my goal next month, is I'm trying to cut down as many weight as I can. And also because like now that I really think about it, and I'll be truthful here, what I've noticed about it, that's what's giving me high cholesterol too.
Exactly. Actually, it's and a whole food plant-based diet is actually one of the only things that's been seen to reverse a lot of ailments like that, like health ailments. But again, I want to stress that like even if a plant-based diet was bad for your health, right?
Yeah.
Like you would still see the value in not harming lives, right? So like you would probably, it doesn't regardless. I guess I'm just trying to hammer home, like regardless of health, like we do it for these people, because like the animals, they're people who feel. True. They think they, so at the end of the day, that's what's important, and we get these benefits because it's just nice.
Yes.
They're plants. Like we're not eating flesh anymore. Like so we may feel a little healther.
We do.
So yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely that would be the route I'd go, especially if it was much more accessible. And honestly, like what would help too is if I lived in a place with people like that, it would.
Well, and yes, exactly. And what I want to say, make sure is clear, is like they hide it though, because like it seems like it's inaccessible, but what you'll find out is like there's actually 2 fully vegan grocery stores in Portland. And they're like all zero waste. There's ones that 0 waste, so they have containers there for you. It's like you walk in, you grab a empty clean salsa jar that they cleaned out, you put a tag on it for the weight that the jar is, and then you can take it and you can go fill it up with like textured vegetable protein or something like that. There's a whole world of compassionate ways to get your nutrition that don't include a violent system that corruptfully abuses beings.
No, you're right about that. I agree. It's just, it's so much stuff that goes on. It's kind of hard to say, but but I agree with you for the most part. Because I want to feel healthy too. Like, because I could really see myself. It's so much. There's so much benefits that comes with it too, and it's just like, it's definitely it's good for your heart, good for your mind. It's good for everything, and also, it's just, definitely something I'm gonna look into. Yeah,
I'm glad. Well, I'm glad we were able to have an open conversation about it.
Yeah, for sure.
That's all we're trying to do, is get people thinking about it, because, it needs to be thought about. The animals, they resist every day in the slaughterhouses, in the zoos, and in confinement. So it's the least I feel like I can do, is come out here and help amplify their voices where it's needed.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. Voices need to be heard for sure.
What was your name?
Anthony.
Anthony. It was nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Elvin. Have a great day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Chat
Yeah, chat it. Chat it up.
I'll chat it. Hello to everybody who's joined more recently. If you're curious about where we are, we're in Portland, Oregon at Pioneer Place Mall, and we're asking folks about animals and liberation. Should we liberate animals from being used as needless objects? From needlessly being used as objects, I'll say. Hello to Daniel. I'm going to ask the chat, if you're a vegan, put a 1. Vegans, put a 1. Non-vegans, put a 2. And trolls, put a 3. I want to get a sense of everybody who's here. Everyone who's in the chat, continue double tapping the screen. Continue liking and sharing the live so we can have a big and broad discussion. We're here to talk about animals and ethics. We're asking, can it be fair to pick up the pig flesh at the grocery store when you could pick up a bag of beans or a mock meat instead? Could it be fair to contribute to the animals being exploited in the zoo when you could watch a nature documentary instead? Why not choose the alternative that doesn't cause someone to be exploited and lose everything? I'm seeing lots of 2s, and that means that there's lots of non-vegans here, and I just want to ask you, what's your biggest obstacle personally to going vegan so that I can open up this discussion with you? Somebody says 4 and 3. What could that mean? Somebody says the pink mic is very appropriate. I'm very happy you noticed the pink mic. It is new. Aren't they beautiful? Somebody says bacon. So do you think the pleasure you get from consuming do you think the pleasure you get from consuming pig's flesh, does it justify the exploitation and killing of the pig? What do you think? Is pleasure a moral justifier? Somebody says, don't we kill pests when growing crops? That is true that sometimes there are accidental deaths within plant agriculture. But if we want to reduce the size of our plant agriculture system, the first step is to switch to a plant-only food system, because we grow way more crops to feed to animals than to eat them later on than we would grow if we just ate the plants directly. So if we transition from our current omnivore food system to a plant-only food system, we'd free up about 75% of the world's agricultural land, and that could be used for rewilding and returning land to indigenous folks. Somebody says taste is important. So taste is a sense, and much like sight and smell, do you think sensory pleasure justifies violence towards a victim if you have another choice? Would pleasure justify chopping up a dog if you didn't need to chop up the dog? Somebody says, that's lies. Brother kill a lot of animals to protect their plants. It's not accidental. So it is an accident. When we're growing plants, we're not trying to kill animals. It's just, it happens as an accident in that situation. But if you're concerned about minimizing those accidents, the first step, again, is to transition to a plant-only food system so we can minimize the amount of crops we're growing in general. And then, with plant agriculture, if there's any remaining accidental deaths or harm, we can implement veganic farming systems that address that as well. We should address all of the harm all at once. Why not? Why wouldn't we? Somebody says, what is your stance on human rights? So we believe in total liberation here. We combine human liberation movements and animal liberation movements. We think of them sort of as the same. I believe in the abolition of capitalism and the state and patriarchy and sexism and racism and white supremacy and colonialism. I believe in decolonization. The animal ethics that I put forward for myself personally represent a return and restoration of the indigenous principles that my ancestors practiced. Somebody says, you make Portland terrible. Why? Leave another message in the chat. Somebody says, white guilt is gross. What are you talking about? I didn't express guilt for anything, but I do support land back for indigenous people like myself. I am indigenous. Somebody says, lentils are amazing. Not sure how I never had them before I changed my diet. Exactly, lentils are delicious if you prepare them correctly, if you just use some seasonings. Let's see. The chat's moving kind of quick. I see a lot of people have joined. We're here in Portland, Oregon, for anybody who is curious, and we're having discussions about animal liberation. And somebody says, what exactly is wrong with colonialism? It's unethical. It involves theft and violence. Needless. Why would we do that? Why would we subject somebody to being treated as an object? Why would we steal their culture from them? How is any of that fair? We oppose colonization for the same reason that we oppose the oppression and use of our beyond human kin, the other animals that we share this planet with. To everybody here, please continue double tapping that screen. Double tap and share the live. We want to have a bigger, broader discussion. We're having off-camera conversations, and we're also looking for folks here in Portland, Oregon who are willing to have on-camera conversations as well. We're asking people about animals and ethics. Is it ethical to oppress or use animals for any purpose if we have an alternative? If we don't need to use them, kill them, or exploit them, why would we? That's the question I'm posing to the chat. Let me know what your thoughts are, and let me know your biggest personal obstacle to going vegan so I can address those too. Somebody says, I'm an Oregon hunter, so why do you think it's acceptable to objectify and exploit animals in the forest or in any wild environment? Why not just buy a bag of beans at the store instead? Why contribute to them being seen and treated as objects? Why contribute to them being killed? Somebody says rage baiting for views. No, I'm here just to open up a conversation and a discussion with all of y'all. It's not about rage baiting or anything like that. I'm not necessarily even here to spar with you. I'm just opening up a conversation. Somebody says, are you related to the pharmacist guy? I don't know what that means. No, I'm not a pharmacist or related to any. Somebody says, nice wool sweater. So this is made of cotton. If I can choose a cotton jacket rather than a wool one, or if I can choose a cotton jacket rather than a leather one, which is somebody's skin, a cow's skin, why wouldn't I just choose the cotton one? Why wouldn't I choose to relate to our fellow animals as our fellow beings to share the planet with? Why would I relate to them as objects to be used or resources to be used when I can simply share this planet with them as they are our relatives? Somebody says, is everything you're using and wearing vegan? Yes. There are no animals on my body. Like, there are no animal skin, no animal flesh. To everybody who's here, continue double tapping that screen, continue sharing the live. If anybody's curious, we're here in Portland, Oregon, talking about animal ethics. Is it ethical to exploit other animals when we don't need to? How could we justify it? Let me know in the chat and I'll address some of them. Somebody says, what about the microphone? So there is no animal that was used to produce this microphone. It's like there's no animal bits inside of it. There could be some human exploitation that was caused in the production of the microphone, and we oppose that as well. We're against capitalism and human exploitation. We can oppose human exploitation and oppression at the same time that we oppose the oppression of the animals that we share this planet with. We can do both, and if we can do both, why wouldn't we? That's what I'm asking. Somebody says, but you bought it, so you supported it. Right, but there's nothing inherent to a microphone that is oppressive. We can produce technology without oppressing other humans, but there's something inherent about animal flesh secretions, about zoos, they all inherently oppress other animals because there's no way to produce cow flesh without oppressing and killing the cow. There's no way to confine an animal in a zoo without oppressing them. So we're talking about something that oppression can be removed from within the technology sphere, whereas inherent oppression and inherent violence that is built into the animal use. I see you, Daniel. Thank you to all the vegans and mods in the chat. To anybody who's curious, we're in Portland, Oregon at Pioneer Place Mall. Somebody says zoo is bad, but steak is good. So if the zoo is bad because you have an alternative, you don't need to contribute to animals being confined at the zoo. Why is it acceptable to treat a cow as an object and to kill them for their flesh? Why would you do that to them if you have another choice? How is that violence fair? Let me know. I see you, U-Tops. I see you, the vegans. Somebody says plastic is animals. No, animals are not plastic. I'm sorry to break that news to you. Somebody says pigs are killed at 6 months old. This is a very important point. So pigs might live 20 or 30 years if somebody doesn't steal their life from them prematurely. But the pig flesh in the grocery stores, that came from pigs who were killed at about 6 months age, just 6 months into a 20 or 30-year life, and they were killed using a gas chamber. Does it sound fair to take the life from a pig when you don't need to, using a gas chamber at 6 months into what would have been a 20 to 30-year life? Does any of that sound just or fair to you? If not, if it's not fair, why should we contribute to it? Why pay for it? We're here asking those questions and inciting this conversation. Somebody says remember to drink water. This is a great reminder for everyone, including myself. We've been out here a while. It's very important to stay hydrated. Somebody says you don't kill pigs with a gas chamber, so I'm going to encourage you to consult the evidence. Right now, you're kind of spitballing. You don't have anything to go off of, so I'm going to encourage you to visit watchdominion.org, and it will show the standard practice of how pigs are killed using a gas chamber. Somebody says 30 years. Where's your evidence? Just look up pigs who are in sanctuaries. They live much longer lives. They live often beyond 20 years old when they're not exploited and killed.
I don't know what the energy is right now, but we got a new subscriber. Thank you, Laura, to Total Liberation Now. My goodness.
Somebody says all mass slaughter is disgusting. Absolutely. Why would we mass slaughter anybody if we have another choice? That just sounds incredibly unfair. Sounds so unjust. Why would we do that? Somebody says, good job, guys. I want to say thank you to all the vegans and the mods who are here. It's so great to have you here, keeping the chat a safe place for everybody. We're here in Portland, Oregon, for anybody who's joined more recently and is curious. And if you're wondering what we're talking about, we're asking people, is it fair to use other animals when we have another choice, when we don't need to anymore? Let me know your thoughts in the chat. I'm going to ask everyone to keep double tapping that screen, keep double tapping the screen and sharing the live so we can boost this in the algorithm. Somebody says, I'm vegan. That's great to hear. Great to have the vegans and the mods here. Yeah, you want to take over? Awesome, I'll take over.
Do you want to sign or no? You take a break. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Hey guys, what's up? I heard we got the numbers going on for if you're vegan or not. Whew, the sun's a little bit bright right here. And I don't know where I put my sunglasses. Oh, I'm still watching. Okay, so if you're vegan, maybe you didn't ask you guys. If you're vegan, type 1. If you're not a vegan, type 2. And if you're just curious, type 3. Oh, I was looking for my sunglasses, but I don't know. I thought they just fell in here. Guess not. Okay. Oh, okay. So those that just put a 2, tell me why you're not vegan, or maybe throw me some questions about veganism that I can address. Well, some people are trolls in here. That's fine. We welcome all. Just don't be too offensive. And if you are too offensive, we'll just kick you out. Oh, I see. Animals are used in the production of some plastics, primarily through animal fat, tallow, acting as additives. Stearic acid derived from rendering animal fat is commonly used. Okay, so veganism is an ethical stance against the exploitation of sentient beings. So if I can avoid demanding someone's exploitation, I do so. Is that clear? I can be against slavery and sadly live in a system that does use slavery in every manner. And any way that I can avoid demanding that slavery, that shows that I'm against slavery. So you can take action. If you truly don't like something, you have a voice with your dollar. You can say, I don't like that. And guess what? They follow where your money goes. And it's funny you say no one cares. I do see someone saying no one cares about this. But here you are leaving a comment. So it is interesting when people say, I don't care. And it's like, but you came in here on your own free will. Vegan for 17 years. High five. Zeus. Oh, yes, I know you. That's awesome. So do you think it's fair to be treated as a slave?
No member of Congress actually voted for that at all.
Honey is not vegan because, well, there's welfare issues, but you're just demanding someone make a product for you. That's not fair. They make it for themselves. It's their food for them and their babies. Well, when you have choices or you can go without, you cannot demand someone's exploitation. That's what veganism is. Do you guys want to have an interview? Okay. It's the only way you can bypass organic fertilizer. Most vegans are against petroleum. Why are they against petroleum? It doesn't make sense. Abortion is not an exploitation issue. It's between the person who's pregnant and their doctor. So then why use animal byproducts for clothing? I don't. This is cotton or it's synthetic. It is not made from any animal products, actually. Yeah, vegans don't demand respect. We demand that you respect the animals. And actually, it's more like we know that you share the same principle with us. You would agree that someone kicking a dog should be stopped, or at least you shouldn't join in with them, even though they may look like they're having a good old time, reaping benefits of exercise and joy. But those benefits don't outweigh the dog's suffering. And we're saying that your taste pleasure, your fashion, your cosmetics, those are not worth someone's life. Those are not necessities. Those are exploitation of someone for unnecessary things. So I actually do give my kitty plant-based foods. There's plant-based cat foods and dog foods. So, go look those up. Make sure they're certified by the AAFCO, I think. I can't remember what the abbreviation is. Should be written on the can. We use Evolution. She loves the cheeseburgers. So again, it's about we're talking about what choices you can make to not demand animal exploitation. So what is it that's keeping you from being vegan? Yeah, pink mic is awesome, isn't it? Psh, pops. Hey, do you guys want to be interviewed? Okay, all right. Enjoy the day. It's so sunny. Let's see. You have to be the next level narcissist to be a vegan cat. To have a vegan cat. Why? If they're getting all their needed nutrition and they're happy and healthy, what's wrong with that? Why do I have to feed them flesh? Aren't you forcing your thoughts onto somebody? How am I exploiting my cat? No. Oh, here. Yes, cats are obligate carnivores. I would say that not everyone will have access to plant-based foods, but if you have access to this app right here, you have access to cat plant-based foods. You just have to order it online. My teeth are beautiful, thank you. I'm actually a fan of my smile. It's unique, it's me. You have bad gums. Okay, why aren't you vegan? I do agree the trolls in the chat are just bored people. So if you're just chiming in, we're here in Portland, Oregon. We're in front of the Pioneer Place Mall, and we're just asking people about their consistency on fairness. And, while we're waiting for the next conversation, I want to know what your consistency is. Do you think that there's a line between humans and animals that justifies farming one but not the other? Can you tell me what that morally relevant difference is? Is it intelligence? Put a 1. Is it what they look like? Put a 2. Is it that they live in nature? Put a 3. Or is it not okay to use animals? Put a 5. There was too many there. We'll see if anyone can follow. Nah, it was too complicated. Oh, there's a 6. Not following instructions, I see. I agree. It's not okay. Chickens are great people. So if you're a Christian and you're using God to say that this is a justification to use animals, just because you have an authority figure telling you something's okay, you need to look to the victim. Do they think it's okay? What do the animals prefer? What's best for them? Why do they deserve to be exploited? What did they do that was so terrible? Do you want to talk to the chat for a second? I can stand on the side.
Okay. Hey, so I've been waiting for this person to come back out of the mall, the shopping center, so I could have an interview with them, but they haven't come back out. But I wanted to share this card. So there's this website called Vegan Essentials, and I get a couple things off of there. But when I shop there, they send me free croissants, free chocolate croissants. So yeah, I just want to share that with y'all. So, all right, what's going on in the chat? Hey, Daniel. Hi, Lewis. Not here to talk about abortion. That's like a whole nother area. So, remember to drink water. It is, well, animals don't have the ability to, they're on survival mode. So if an animal eats meat or another animal, they're doing that because they don't have a grocery store to go to. And they also they aren't moral agents, so they can't reason as to like why it's right or wrong. They're in survival mode, whereas we have grocery stores. Why am I using the microphone? Well, we can't control where everything, I don't know for sure if wherever this microphone was produced, there was exploitation involved. So, but I know for sure that animals are being exploited and killed every time I use them. So I'm trying to like focus on one of these. You see, okay. Oh, hey, you Tubbs. So we're at Pioneer Place. I'm not sure if anybody's said that recently. So we're just trying to get a couple more interviews in. Thank you, Juan. Yeah, we're animals, but we're different types of animals. All animals have, different abilities, and we just happen to have the ability to think a little bit more critically about things. So. I think that you could probably figure out, if you wanted to drink wine or beer and be vegan, you could probably figure out which ones are safer for you to drink. Personally, I don't use alcohol, so we are predators. That's kind of scary. What kind of things are you a predator towards? Because that means that you're like stalking, and we're not predators. So if you believe in buying products that were tested on animals, then you believe in using individuals against their will, and science research is obsolete at this point. There's a lot of things that we can figure out without using animals. So animals are predators, but we're also animals, but we don't have to be predators. There's plenty of different options and to eat, or items to buy that aren't made out of animals. So get kind of a loud moment here, so let's let the train go by.
They can hear you really well.
Yeah, okay. Plants don't feel pain. They don't have central nervous systems, and they don't have brains. They react to things, but they don't feel pain.
You got a 6-month man. You have a 6-month man. You have many forms.
Oh, Bubbles! Sorry. I got distracted because there was a security guy saying there was a 6-month ban, but I think it's about somebody else.
I see someone says
Yeah.
plants sentient, but plants do
No.
have nervous systems. No, they don't.
Yeah, no. Plants don't have central nervous systems,
Yeah,
so...
plants literally do not care.
Yeah. Plants, you know what? Okay, so if we eat them, so say you're cutting a piece of broccoli, does it scream out and cry when you cut it? An animal would scream out and cry if you cut or hurt them to use them. So I'm not newer. I'm just not used to being on camera.
Yeah,
so, I'm just trying my best.
There's so many.
I don't have to be a jerk face.
Exactly. There's too many jerk faces. Well, I don't know. It's kind of slowing down, and we have some colorful
Yeah.
actors walking around. Do we want to call it?
Yeah, we could.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you guys
We're
wanna
going to call it Amy, so.
Or do you want to try to? Do we want to get you that one more?
I want to
though?
get you one.
I know,
if you can.
but it's not the end of the world.
Here, let me ask this
you know.
I would say I don't mind waiting here. Okay. Awesome. Does a snail cry out? Yeah, they probably do. Exactly. Yeah. See, bunch of support. Go, Rebecca. All right. So what we're saying is, do you even want to be vegan? And if you do, why? If it's for the animals, you'll be motivated to try to find those solutions that you need. And if you need, maybe to be a part of a group, just so you can talk to other people who might have similar obstacles, check out 10 Weeks to Vegan. You can go to antianimaluse.org, which is our website, and it's listed on there. I know this is backwards. Maybe you can scan the little code. I don't know. It's the tiny one. But anyway, if you just go to antianimaluse.org, you can also find 10 Weeks to Vegan on there, or just 10weeks.org. Pretty sure it's their website. And like I said, they have a little group you can be a part of, and just, Oh, hi.
Okay.
No, we're going.
You want to stand over here?
It's live on YouTube. Is that okay?
Is that all right with you? Yeah, if you want to set your stuff down.
Okay.
So my name's Rebecca. What's your name?
Chanel.
Chanel. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So we're talking about oppression today. Do you feel like it's right for when the more powerful, or when they oppress the powerless or the weak, the less powerful?
Yeah.
You think it's okay?
No, I don't think
Oh,
it's
it's
okay.
not
I'm sorry.
okay.
I'm
It's
sorry.
okay.
You just said so many things, but
Yeah.
no, I don't think it's okay.
Yeah, it's not right.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. It's not right to put anybody down.
Yeah.
Whether race, gender,
Yeah.
sexual orientation, anything like that.
Absolutely not. So
Yeah.
we're on the same page about that. What do you think about the way that we use animals? We animal agriculture puts them in slaughterhouses, and we use them for clothing items and science and entertainment. What do you think about that?
I think it's a tricky one because I like art and fashion and stuff like that, and I think maybe I'm not as much educated. It's just sometimes when I'll watch some of the award shows and see, and they talk about, this person's getting criticized for, it's like Lady Gaga or somebody that Rihanna, or somebody does a lot of different looks.
Uh-huh.
But I guess it just has me go and look more, like, what is it that they do?
Yeah.
'Cause when you're more educated and informed on, what they're the things are, it gets you to think about it more.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's with anything. When you have more information, you think about it more. And how does it touch you? It's just how it touched you. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, because first I look at like a lot of hair products and stuff, and I say, oh, well, like Aveda, or like the products that use, they say animal cruelty free or whatever, and they're like, what was it doing cruelty to animals before?
Yeah.
I mean, there's something, and they're like, well, you get that mental picture, you're like, what is that? What is that? And I'm like, oh my gosh.
A lot of cosmetics, they'll put them like in bunny rabbits' eyes to see if, that's just one example to see if they react to it.
Right.
So that's why, like for instance, I don't use any products that are, tested on animals or have animal ingredients in them. So, but you're right. Like sometimes we just don't know. And if we have the information, then it makes us think about things and we might change our behavior because of it,
Yeah. Definitely being more informed makes me think about it.
Yeah. So have you ever heard of veganism?
Yeah, I have. I've tried it. The cheese part of it is a little difficult, but there's a lot of good parts to being vegan. I know eating cleaner. I can't say that I'm vegan right now, but I'm definitely more conscientious of like not with meats and things. What I eat, I'm having more of a poultry diet, pescatarian. Try to be like that. I don't eat. It's just, but it does. I think it helps you be able to create more things too, though. When you use more natural products and play with it, you can see you can get really a lot of more pigmented colors, like in makeup, like using coffee beans or red berries or just different things. Yeah. That's what I like a lot of products from Trader Joe's, and then adding stuff to it.
Well, we know that it's like even if you eat meat, like say if you had like a piece of tofu and you had meat, like it's all about seasoning, right?
Yeah, seasoning.
Like, and seasoning is actually comes from plants. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So
you season anything well, you can hardly tell what is what.
Yeah.
Like tofu is a big one because sometimes when people like I'll make soup or something and but they're like, there's no way there wasn't meat in there. I was like, there wasn't meat. Yeah.
So you said that you were vegan, but you like cheese.
Well, I was at one point vegan. I'm not vegan right now.
But
there's a lot of cheese substitutes.
The cheese is getting a lot better.
The cheese is getting a lot better.
What about the animals? Like, do you think that it's fair to treat them the way that we do, just to use them for food when we know there's something else that we could buy that wouldn't harm?
I don't think it's fair. I think I definitely appreciate other ways of treating animals that are included in the process of how products are made or food, for instance. There's definitely nicer ways to treat animals or to not treat animals to do things. I will say though that genetically modifying the things, I don't think that so much is so good. I don't really think that because that's making us sicker in different ways in the long term. Like I feel like a lot of the cancers are happening because of genetically modified not only animals but plants.
Really? Well, I was just gonna say the animals are all modified from
the food
they aren't even that and they've been like they're pumped full of different drugs and things to make them produce more, and so they like chickens for instance. They're the way that they grow is like increased because of the way that they're raised in the factory.
Like I think the first thing I think of, I would say KFC. Their chickens. I think that's something one of my friends told me at first that like they had more eyes than they're supposed to, or more legs. And I was like, I stopped eating KFC.
Well, you know why? Years ago they said, you know why it's called KFC now instead of Kentucky Fried Chicken, because it's not chicken. It's called KFC because it's so genetically modified and cruel that it's like they can't even stand up. They can't. So. What if I gave you some resources? Would you be willing to look?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let me get a card. Do you guys have an extra card? I'm out of cards. Thank you.
Wait.
Yeah, they got me. So we're anti-animal use.
Okay.
This is our website.
Okay.
And basically, our website has information on how you can go vegan and different reasons why. Like if you're like, well, but what about my protein, or what about this or that? Like it gives you all kinds of different, alternatives. And then nutritionfacts.org would be helpful. And there's like a Dominions on there. It shows the standard practice of what happens to animals.
Sounds good.
So it's great meeting you.
Nice meeting you. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day. Take care. Okay. All done.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. We were honestly really happy that we got that last conversation. We were like, yes. It always feels like, the wind knocked out of our sails when we were like waiting for that last one. So I'm glad. I really wanted that one person to come back because they looked like they were going to be like such a great conversation.
Yeah.
But
They were kind of alternative dressed, and they told Rebecca they might come back after they got a drink.
yeah. They were so upbeat. I just thought it would have been such a good conversation. If you're there, if you're watching, you need to come back. Rebecca's waiting. All right. Well, we're going to call it there for a day, guys. Anti-animal use. Also, please go check out Total Liberation Now. We need them to get up to 50 follows right now so we can get them to go live for
12 more. Just 12 more. Like 12 of you. 12 of you. If you go and use go sub, like
Instagram is great, but where we're really needing some numbers is YouTube. If we can get to 50, Elva and I will become much more active. You'll see a lot more activism from both of us.
there's days we want to just go live on the waterfront right out here, just us, but like we can't go live because I don't know, it's hard. So
Also, you're going to see, just as a fun peekaboo.
oh yeah, we have blue mics.
Well, that
oh
was
yeah,
ours.
we have blue mics. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, it's great. Awesome. So yeah, just go check out Total Liberation and go check out its project Livestream, April 10th. Anti-animal use will be. Oh, okay. Well, we're wrapping it up. They'll catch us next time. All right, guys. I'm going to pass around the mic. We're going to say goodbye, and thank you for being here. Really appreciate y'all.
I'm Enigma on Instagram at genderless.enigma. You can find me there. As Anna was shouting us out, Elvin and I are also with Total Liberation Now. Needing a few more subscribers, please consider subscribing over there. And I want to say thank you to all the vegans and all the mods who are here. And if you found these conversations interesting, if you're intrigued but you haven't quite made up your mind, we are here regularly. So please subscribe to Anti-Animal Use because we do these conversations almost every week.
Yes, thank you everybody. I think I know I definitely saw like PJ, I think I saw Daniel. Just those two I can remember off the top of my head. But y'all are always there, always supporting us, always doing great, all you vegans. And the non-vegans, thanks to you too, boosting the views, coming in, being curious. Please do so again next weekend as well.
Hey, I'm Rebecca, The Uncaged Front. I have a blog at theuncagedfront.org, and I'm on Instagram. And I just want to say thank you for all the vegans in the chat. It was amazing to see all the great vegan people in there. And thank you for all the non-vegans even to come and try and have a constructive kind of like talk with us and learn more. So thank you. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. And with that, guys, we're going to call it a day. Thanks for being here. Bye.